Hey, folks, and welcome to episode 91 of Malt and Magic, the Forgotten Kingdom of Nylin. I will let you all know we are a man down tonight, but a man down for good reasons. Somehow is off earning pennies and doing very well doing so. So we wish him all of our love. We are missing you, and we will see you when you get back, buddy. But yeah, enjoy everything you're doing. Let's get into the usual thank yous. I said I was ready, and now I've got into the intro, and I'm just like, what am I doing? But it's all good fun. So let's do our usual shout-outs and thank yous to Incarnate, to Owlbear Rodeo, and to Dungeon Alchemist. As I say, we've not used Dungeon Alchemist for the last couple of weeks, and we probably won't use it tonight, but it will be coming up in the next few weeks. Massive shout-out to Incarnate for the maps the last few weeks. They've been amazing. Hopefully there's maybe a couple tonight that we'll see. And of course Owlbear Radio for everything virtual tabletop. A massive shout out to D&D Beyond, because where would we be without D&D Beyond? It's just the tool. And as I said last week, very excited now that it's been bought by Wizards. That's going to be awesome. Thank you to Hero Forge for all things character visuals, whether that's the actual character creation themselves or the token generator. Another amazing tool with updates every week that just get better and better. Although, they do need to release a Leonin character model. Because having to try and do it with bears and manes and stuff, it's not as good as I'd like it. But I'm sure it will get there eventually. And then to the DM's tools that I use, so to Kassoon, 5e Magic Shop, and 2 Minute Tools. Of course, our show would be nothing without the music and the sound effects. So huge thank you to Tabletop Audio and BattleBards. We are, of course, affiliated with BattleBards. So please go and use the code that you will see on screen, Malt and Magic. When you register, go get yourself a nice cheeky discount off some sound effects, should you wish to use them in your own games or your radio plays or whatever you're doing on stream or digital media, however you're using those sound effects, go grab them. Go check out the social media links. You can see them all along the bottom there. Of course, there's the new one as well. We did post a little one or a little TikTok out yesterday with us all doing the RPG character creation effect, which was a lot of fun. My favourite bit is where Dave sits there for about 4 seconds not realising it's finished and then goes, oh shit, yeah. Which is brilliant. But yeah, and there's... I'm tempted to take all those stats and create 3 NPCs for either campaign 2 or later in this one. We'll see what happens, just because they've happened and it's all good fun. Please go check us out on the podcast as well. Obviously, you can catch the VOD for this and all of our episodes on YouTube about a week after the fact. I know we've been a bit lax on that last couple of weeks, but there's been a lot going on in our personal lives. So yeah, go check out YouTube, go check out the podcast if you'd rather listen to them. I've released 2 podcast episodes within the last couple of days because I didn't realise the week before episode hadn't gone into publish yet. It was still sat in my draft, so 1,000 apologies for that, but it's already had a significant amount of listens, so thank you to those who are listening to us on the podcast platform. If you can leave a review on there, that's amazing, or a rating. It just helps spread the word, and more support means more things we can do for you fine people out there. So I think that's pretty much it for the intros. I don't think I've missed anything. Nobody's like waving at me or jumping around to say you've missed anything. So let's get to it. There will most certainly be adult language, probably a bit of adult humour. Danny is on stream after all, and with that, let's roll.
Hello.
Hello.
Always nice to get a mention of the intro, thank you.
You always get a mention of the intro. Amazing set of players that I do have. So yes, as I say, we are a man down, but we do get to stare at Kirik's lovely character all evening instead. You can just, you're just technically stroking the spell there, Dave. So that might.
Yeah, but I can't actually stroke his head. You know.
I can never figure out the right hand to use. There we go.
Good stuff. So, and I think some owls sort of hovering around in the background on stream. So, hello, we miss you. But yes, let's go down the lineup.
Tell us what to do.
Let's get down the lineup before we all descend into chaos. So I am Matt. I play the Dungeon Master and still play the character of Bothrid. Thank goodness. I will also be playing any other NPCs or monsters this evening.
I am Danny, who plays Anders Splinterthorn, but also will be scrambling around to use whatever is left on Kirik's character sheet, which is actually not a lot, which makes it easier for me.
Hello, I am... He's not here today.
Dave at the moment,
Could have at least
just give him a
attempted the
minute, everyone.
Portuguese accent.
I didn't even want to try. I just wanted to do
We don't want to
something
get
funny.
cancelled. I don't want Kirik somehow putting a complaint in.
Hello, I'm Dave. I play Dargon, the Goliath fighter warlock. Mostly Danny, but I will chip in. We're both going to try and play Kirik on his instruction tonight.
Indeed. And so
Give
last
it
week
strict marching
was...
orders, which we're going to ignore completely.
Sounds about right, to be honest. But yes, last week was an emotional roller coaster for everyone, I think. So
Understatement.
a significant amounts of shit happened. Which, we sort of immediately dived into the Maltmaster's Keep to go find Mirabelle and Annabelle, only to be greeted with the arse end of an infernal night, and quickly dashed ahead to find out there were not one but three of the bastards. And so, having engaged a couple of them, Dargon and Kirik dimension doored further down as Ander was using his investiture of wind to sort of swoop down the corridor, if you like, above these creatures, leaving poor old Bothrid to fend off one on his own. And he did very, very well, I have to say. Took some significant hits. And so there was, in the throne room, Mirabelle, Annabelle, Kirik, Dargon, Ander, all face-to-face with these two infernal knights who we gave silly nicknames to last week because it was more fun, which was amazing. Managed to get through them relatively quickly. We saw some insight into who and what Annabelle and Mirabelle are in terms of class. They are all badasses. Yeah, anybody that belongs to the Maltmasters is pretty badass, I think. We can safely assume. We will see what happens with the last few tonight.
Hello, sir. Can I take your coat and destroy you?
Yeah, well, there is that. No, that was Lilith, wasn't it? Just like disintegrate.
Oh, yeah, true.
So yes, managed to deal with them relatively simply. There was still some significant hits. I think Dargon almost went down at one point, but then there were some timely heals coming through from the girls, from the twins. But eventually saw off those two infernal knights, not internal knights. That's a whole different class of character that we won't discuss. That's for like the late night stream.
Hot tub stream.
You then rushed back down the corridor knowing that Bothrid was on his own and sort of getting the sense that Bothrid was in a bit of a shit state, and just simply didn't get there in enough time, with the final thing just before you got there, the final thing being the Infernal Knight driving the blade up into Bothrid's midriff, and then with a failed constitution throw from Bothrid, reaving his soul into the rivers of death. There was then swift retribution from both Mirabelle and Dargon. As Mirabelle let off a psychic scream, Dargon ran in and sliced away this infernal knight, and he dealt with that pretty quickly, then understanding that the soul would be released from the sword thanks to killing the infernal knight. So the soul returned to Bothrid's body, but Bothrid was still trapped in those waters, in those icy waters. So Kirik in that moment cast the Revivify spell, I believe. using his diamond, and you all contributed, but in that moment, Kirik stepped into the river of death, channeled that power, and stepped beyond the veil. And there was a series of moments with you all where you all offered something to try and greet Bothrid and convince him to come home. And it was successful overall. I think there was only one dodgy roll, which was fine. So, law of averages, we managed to get over the line. And Bothrid was brought back. In the midst of all this, there was a huge gaping hole in the keep that had been created by Kirik's Dawn spell. So, castle falling apart. The rest of you, as Bothrid then was revived, you all then scampered off back to the tunnel in the throne room to get underneath the city, if you like, to go through to the Crystal Cave, where you were aware that the distiller and a few others were trying to get the villagers out. Having done that and sort of got in there, got midway, you heard the castle collapse, sort of fold in around itself, and then Mirabelle quickly dropped the bag she was holding and gave Dargon a very special set of armour. So the armour adorned with the symbol of the Everlight, and sort of recommended that you give other items away to somebody else. You quickly changed and then rushed into this room, or into the Crystal Cave, through the main entrance, if you like, or through the entrance where the tunnel comes out, to see the distiller and Neathim there. Neathim very much protecting the distiller while she was holding this gate open, her eyes focused on this portal behind her, as villager after villager after villager scampered through, coming through from another portal where a white furred claw was just almost holding the gate open, as Ethereal was holding one gate leading through to another for the villagers to get out of Glen Taugh and then get straight into wherever they are being taken to for safety or being directed to. In the moment, or in sort of the next moment, Ethereal was effectively shoved through the teleportation gate that he was holding open, and nobody else followed. You have no idea what has happened to the Cooper, Thalania, Mephisto, or Johannes right now. But you're left in a room with Nathim, Ethereal, and the distiller, and in that moment there were two fiery portents opened, and out of them stepped two very large devils, and that was where we left it last week. So, the first thing that happens tonight then is we have a portal opened by the distiller. Nathim has almost stepped forward, ready to face these devils. Ethereal sort of reeling at the fact he's just been thrown through his own portal, and the four of you by the raised dais or raised platform, as Annabelle and Mirabelle have already scampered through. Is there anything we would like to try and do in the very quick few seconds we've got before this potentially all kicks off?
So everyone's got through the portal apart from us and the Mole Masters, so that's good. Are the devils in front of the distiller's portal, or is that still...
Are they in between us and the portal, basically?
No, so the distiller is sat and the portal is literally immediately behind her. There's no way for them to get between her and the portal. That you are next to the platform, if you like. They are in front of it and the distiller is on top right now.
Are they between us and the portal?
Not really, no.
Fine, I just wanted to check. Is there and is there anyone else behind us? Like Nathim, or is he nearby?
No, Nathim. I suppose this would be much easier if we just brought up a map.
Maybe
Quickly swap a token out, because I have changed somebody's token.
Nice.
An NPC's token, I should add. Let's send this link through. And with that, Signal decides to die on me. How fantastic! We'll
So I think what we're all trying to work out at the moment is can we get out of here, or do we have to fight? So
yeah, can we just let it?
Dargon's gonna say if we find this, if it looks right on the map, I'll preempt this, but if it looks like it's going to be okay, he's going to say, all right, everyone out, go through the portal.
Okay.
Kirik agrees with the sentiment because he knows he can't bring any gain. He's quite spent, energy-wise, emotionally, physically. He favours a tactical retreat.
So it's load you four up on the map.
It's just whether we're all quick enough to get out. They are some big motherfuckers.
They are indeed.
It's a cool cave, though.
It's a very cool cave.
And that token for the portal looks like Stargate SG-1.
Yes, if anybody's ever looking for spell tokens for their virtual tabletop, then there is a set on the DM's Guild, which is amazing. There's a fair few spell tokens in there for the main sort of player's handbook and DM's guide spell lists, not necessarily any of the newer ones, although there are some in there. But yeah, go grab them, they're awesome. So you can see now that obviously you can see where you four are. You four are clustered here. Nathan has stepped forward away from Ethereal, where he was sort of protecting the stairway. Ethereal is here with the portal that he had open has just closed, and the distiller is still here with her eyes closed, focusing on keeping this particular portal open. What are we doing?
I, with Dargon saying get through the portal, would like to use one of the charges of my loot. I'll strum it, and what you'll just see strings of, it looks like smoke, but I don't know, is it clouds? It's not really sure. It's really hard to tell. What I will actually do is cast fog cloud over the two demons.
Oh, nice.
Okay, in which case I'm going to have to ask everybody to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not what's supposed to happen. This is an escape plan, Matthew, not a fight plan.
It is an escape plan, but these things happen, so there's no real surprise round in this because everybody's just gone ping and landed.
This plan might go to shit because I've just rolled a 9. I'm going last.
That was cocked.
Oh no!
Don't forget to roll for Kirik, please.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And I have advantage. I forgot about that. Not that that makes much difference yet. Okay.
I need to find a notebook, I guess.
What you got, Kirik? What you got?
What did you just get, Danny?
I got a 9. Kirik
9.
rolled a 4. We're off to a good start, everyone.
Brilliant. Is that 4 plus or is that 4 total?
4 total.
God, that's wonderful.
You rolled 2 3s with advantage.
Absolutely amazing.
Dargon, you rolled
20.
20, nice. Bothra gets a 15. So you say Kirik got a 4.
Yes. Do you think I fucked up by trying to cause a distraction? I've actually just started the fight. That would know. Have I fucked it?
Okay.
Dave silence means yes.
Well.
That's me concentrating.
Make sure I've got a page open ready for this. Excellent. So with that then, as you sort of pull out your loot and begin to start this action, Dargon, you are first in this.
That's not cool.
Mode, if you like.
Oh, that's not cool. Bugger.
What's tough is you don't know where they are in the order. Because if you all leg it, they might be next.
Which is a very good point. So here we go. This is all very new style. I'm going to use my movement. Yeah, double check that. So I'm going to move 5, 10. I'm going to go there. As I say to everyone, come on, all of you need to get out. And I will hold my action, which, because I believe that I can pretty much only hold one action, which I understand. It is going to be that as long as everyone else is starting to get out, I'm going to head towards the the portal. That will be my dash action, and it will be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can get to the. I don't know if that's to the portal where she's concentrating.
You can get through it with a dash.
Effectively, yeah.
So that's my action. The dash action to get there, but I'm shield up and everything, ready to use my reaction. Oh no, I can't use my reaction because that's holding an action. But fuck it, that's what I'm doing. I'm a shield.
Okay.
That's my go.
In which case, it's then the distiller's go, who's going to do nothing because she is concentrating on the spell right now. I'm very in depth in that right now.
Yeah, it's for the best.
So, one of these devils,
Oh no.
who stands with a sword in hand, this spiked armor, these curving horns, and these two big feathery red wings, steps forward, swings the sword up. The lost. Let's get this done then. And he
does it mean,
is
the last?
going to.
Where's the other ones? Is that like a Marvel hint you've done there, like what Disney doing? You've actually hinted to the rest of the Malt Masters being dead. And that'll be the mid-credit scene when we finish.
He is going to. What have we got? How much movement speed? How far do we want to go? He's going to fly.
Bollocks.
And he's going to go and swoop all the way up to there, which is going to give both Nathan and Ethereal attacks of opportunity as he sort of flies over the top. So, Ethereal is going to try and hit with the quarterstaff that he holds. So he's just going to loop that up, try and smack. Which is a 28 to hit, which will hit. That's two-handed. So that is going to be 5 points of bludgeoning damage, but it also means, because this is a magic quarterstaff, this creature can't regain hit points until the start of its next turn.
Nice.
Boom.
So I'll put a green ring around the edge. So that was 5 points of damage to Bell. That will be Ethereal's reaction. Nathan is not going to use his. So Bell has moved his movement speed. He is then going to swing towards the distiller with this great sword. That was very, very, very lucky. It's an 18 to hit. So, what have we got then, Gel? Interesting. No reaction, so she can't do shit all. Yeah, just going to take that hit. It's just going to take 26 points of slashing damage.
Oh, this portal's going to go.
And as that blade burns with fire, she's also going to take an additional. There's a few ones in there. 16 points of fire damage.
Really fucked up.
Yeah, I should have protected the most important person in the room, and I didn't.
Well, I should have tried to do a
needs to
fog
make
cloud
a-
and do the magician's exit. I thought I'd be like
Concentration check.
ninjas in the night.
And that's not bad. That's a 9. That's an unnatural 20. But because that was a single attack, there's no way she's doing that. That is maths. It is maths, is what it is.
Did you take more than 40 points of damage in total?
That's what I'm just trying to work out. Yes, must be. 36 plus
Does
6
that
is
kill it
42.
automatically, does it?
42. So, yeah, that spell is gone.
Oh, fuck a duck.
She just takes this swipe across and knocks to the side. And actually, even though he's got more attacks, he's just going to place the sword down. Let's make this interesting, shall we? And then it is Bothrid's go. Bothrid has no rages left.
What?
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
Bothrid has no
shouldn't have started
rages.
this fight.
He's used all 4 capabilities of rage. What he does have, however, is some wild shapes. So, let's have a think. He will use a bonus action. No, sorry, he will use an action to wild shape.
I should have gone
And
and,
he's
used my interception next to her. Dick.
Well, we're going to have a lot of hindsight thoughts tonight, I think.
We are going to have a lot of them.
That should have been the title of the episode.
Fancy
Hindsight
turning
is a
into-
wonderful thing.
It's probably going to be.
Bothrid is going to wild shape into a saber-toothed tiger.
Because he's a badass.
Go, go, Power Rangers!
Oh, let's see if this works.
So,
Yeah!
Yes!
Yeah, right!
I
I'm going
like
to rename this Tigrid.
Nice.
Haha.
Oh my god, that's so bad. Where the hell was that?
So, with that then, he will use his movement. Let's just see. Druid.
Right.
Wild shape.
I've just twigged. You've got one devil called Bell, so Bell End. And then the other one is called Moloch, which rhymes with bollock.
Bad end and
Moloch the
bollock.
bollock. Brilliant. Was that on purpose?
No, it wasn't. They are actually Princes of Hell.
Oh, obviously I'm wide up wrong. So I went Moloch, Moloch the bollock. That's why you say
Okay.
bitter, because I bet he got bullied at school for that.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 to there. Bothrid. Tigrid's just going to dash straight up as he wild shapes into this saber-toothed tiger. He's just going to dash straight up. But can't use anything else. So that will be Bothrid's go, because bonus actions are pretty useless in this form. It is then Moloch's go. And Moloch's just going to go, pretty kitty.
Okay, he's the intelligent one, clearly.
He is going to attempt to bite Tigrid. So we're going to do this easy way.
Great. They have a cave troll.
There's an unnatural 20 to hit. Which is going to hit, because the armor class on a tiger is not great. So that's going to be a total of 23 points of piercing damage to the tiger. He's then going to claw at this tiger as well. So 34 to hit. Oh, that was 2 ones on the d8s there, so that's going to be a total of 10 slashing damage to the tiger. I will get my head in the game in a minute. And then this whip's going to come out. However, this whip is not going to aim for the tiger. It is going to, if I measure that correctly, it's going to go straight for you, Dargon.
Okay then. Sweet.
As this
Cool.
whip just That is going to be a 19. That was almost a natural one. That teetered right on the edge. So 34 to hit.
Well, yeah.
So you're going to take 13 points of slashing damage.
Smashing.
15 points of lightning damage as this whip cracks through the air, and there's just this sounds of thunder and lightning. And I need a strength saving throw, please.
Yes, one of them. Okay. That was well, it was very nearly a natural 20, but it was an 18.
For a total of 18.
Yeah.
You are yanked forward 30 feet.
Marvellous.
Straight to Moloch.
The bollock.
So, yeah, to Bollock.
Yes. So you have to think when you name them now. How can Danny ruin it?
Let's go. Nayeth him then. What does Nay want to do? Nay has this withered hand of a staff, and he's just gonna smack it into the ground, swirl it around, turn, and streak this spell towards Bell. As he casts a 7th level Finger of Death.
Wow.
That is a Constitution saving throw from Bell. That was a 31 in total. So that's a save, funnily enough. But it's still going to take half damage. So that's 58 divided by 2 is 29 by my maths.
Yep.
29 points of damage to Bell. And then let's see what bonus actions we've got. Nothing else for Nathan. Let's have a quick look. Yep. That is that. So that'll be Nathan's go. We'll then over to Ander. So you have a choice now, as you sort of are strumming. In fact, the first thing I need you to do
I'm in the aura.
is to make a wisdom saving throw.
My best one! Right. Have I got a lucky point left? Because it's not bad, but I don't think it'll be good enough. I've got one left. I'll use it. Doesn't matter. 14 is my best one.
You are frightened of Bell.
Of course.
As this aura of fear is just radiating off of him. So that's the first thing.
Is Investiture of Wind still up? It lasts for 10 minutes.
How long does it last for? Yeah, so that 10 minutes would have been done with you trying to run through the tunnel.
I've got to kind of commit to the fog thing I started, haven't I?
Haven't got to. You can sort of end it quickly. And do something else.
That's very kind of you. I shall definitely do that. So, I'm scared of Bell, so I won't do it on Bell. I will look at Moloch, and the unsettling words will be Moloch the Bollock, obviously, as my bonus action. To then the D8 he's going to have to subtract from this saving throw as I try to cast Suggestion on him. That's a wisdom saving throw, please. Then subtract your D8. Okay. That was a waste of time. What I was going to try and do is I was going to tell Moloch to take Bell home. So then they would hopefully just grab him and teleport off somewhere. That's obviously gone down the shitter now. Because obviously Andy would say it to try and cast it, wouldn't he? And then he's just going to look at him weird now. Balls. Let's lay plans and all that. I've still got some movement left though, so realising I don't want to be near this guy. I will move to there.
Okay.
Am I frightened
Excellent,
until I
yes, sir.
save?
You are frightened until you save, yeah. Until the start. No, sorry, the creature is frightened until the start of its next turn.
Oh, okay.
So, no, it's till your next turn, sorry. Ignore me. So, Ethereal now needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, but he was he not frightened? Oh no, it was frightened on his turn.
No.
Sorry. Of course, yeah.
Yeah, it was frightened on his turn. So, that was pretty good from Ethereal. That was a 19 on the dice. That's a 27.
Nice.
Wisdom saving throw, which is enough. Ethereal is not frightened of Bell and just sort of turns and stands, faces him. You are not welcome in this place. And is going to point a big furry paw at Bell and is going to cast a 4th level banishment.
Yes. Do it.
Get in.
So Bell has got to make a charisma saving throw.
I think he's going to be quite good at that.
Yep. Rolled a 16 and a 10 on the dice, which is not great, so that's going to be a grand total of 28, which is enough to save.
You think?
Yeah. So then, as a bonus action, the spell book that sits on the hip of Ethereal just sort of flies open all of a sudden, and this glowing orb just flies into the air and is going to appear next to him. So we are going to stick a little spell token, I think, on for this. I'm going to do it in that colour. I'm going to shrink that down. That's going to appear just there next to him. Oh, 30 feet away. So in fact, he's going to put it there. So this little orb now floats directly next to Bell. Okay, so that one's done as a bonus action. And that will be Ethereal's go. Then Kirik.
So, Samal's 2 instructions were try and leave without starting a fight. Failed that one. His other instructions I can actually follow, so he will use one of his spell slots left to cast a Spiritual Weapon, and it will appear next to Bell.
Where in particular next to Bell?
I would say the square that's
There?
next to the... Yeah, that'll do.
There?
Yeah,
That one?
do. Yep. Yeah, I suppose if it's on my side, if it's on Kirik's side of Bell, he can still see where the weapon is then, I suppose.
Okay, we'll put it that side then.
And then I can attack with it as part of the same bonus action if I interpret it correctly.
Can indeed.
So that's a +10 to hit, so I'll just roll some. That's +10 on Anders' character sheet, 'cause obviously I can't do it on Kirk's. Oh, bloody hell. 13 to hit.
It's not enough.
No. But then, as his action, Kirik will use Sigrid Flame on Bell.
Nice.
Dexterity saving throw, please.
$27.
Fucking hell, man. You going nuts with these saving throws. I don't think you rolled below a 20, have you?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I'll put my 2 cents in. I think Kirik will probably want to stay there because he wants to stay within 30 feet of all of us.
Yeah, let's just double check he is within.
Yeah, he is.
Here he is, yeah. You two are just 30. Yeah, so good call. Captain Sentinel.
Excellent. Anything else on Kirik go then?
No.
He's not moving, that's action and bonus action. All the way back round to the top then. Dargon.
Wonderful. Entirely wasted my last action. So I'm going to swipe 3 times at Moloch. So this is one-handed because I've still got my shield out. And am I rolling the extra damage?
Of course you are.
Wonderful. So
I mean, if
20
it's big, red, ugly, has wings and stuff.
26 to hit.
26 will hit.
21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Ooh, balls. 15 to hit.
15 will not hit. So the
Yeah.
first 2 hit.
Okay, so I need those 2, and I need that one. That's the wrong dice, you idiot. Try that again, there we go. Uh, 21 points of damage on the first. And 22 on the second. 21 and 22.
So a total of 43 points of damage. Does that include another radiant as well, yeah?
Yes. They weren't good rolls.
Excellent. No, not really.
No.
However, as you strike Moloch with Timiel's Wrath, you see that divine radiance just sort of settles over him almost. And he begins to sort of shrink away from it and hiss slightly and sort of, I don't like.
Then run away. I can do sweet fuck all other than that.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, bollocks, I can't make it. Okay. Oh, I don't know. No. Oh. No. Finish.
Yeah, so apparently I've not used the Distiller's character sheet since they did all the updates, which is why nothing is currently fucking...
I can't... Danny, I was thinking, I want to get back to look after the Distiller, but I can't make it, so should I try and make it in 2 goes? I can still use my movement and run away from Moloch. But I can only make it to Kirik. I can basically make it to Kirik, and then on the start of my turn, I'm,
But then again, he might just whip you with his tail and bring you back. And could you take the attack of opportunity?
Oh yeah, I'll get attack of opportunity, and he'll whip me back up there. Oh man.
I can make it to the Distiller though, and do something.
I just think we've got to protect
Try
her. I don't know. Because I think this is a teleport. Well, this is a teleportation. I don't actually know what spell it is. But whether this actually only takes an action to cast.
Or whether it's a ritual thing, she's going to take an hour.
Well, if it's ritual for an action, I think it's 10 minutes. If it's a 10 minutes thing, it's an hour. I believe that's how it works.
Yeah.
I could be entirely wrong. Teleport is an action. I know that, but I don't know whether Dargon does. I suppose it'll be down to we've seen people do this, so yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you can't
Sorted?
Yep.
Yep. Excellent. So it is then the distiller's go. Now, I did make a slight cock up. Let's just double check. Yeah, that still would have hit anyway, because she's not got anything to reduce that, I don't think. Let's have a look. Game log. Yep, that still would have hit, that's fine. But you would have noticed that the distiller has this sort of blue shimmer over her as that strike connects. So she does have mage armor up, as I just read through my notes very quickly, and she would have cast that prior to all of this and been sort of holding it up. She is then going to, as she sort of steps up, she's going to slam the book closed, and as she slams it closed, there's just this as she disappears for a moment. The briefest of moments.
Okay.
And she is going to use her benign transposition and is going to first make a wisdom saving throw, which I think is going to be fine. That is a 26 or a 27, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say that Danny did something without even speaking it. It was absolutely amazing.
I said, I just DM'd Whisper. I did my own DM Whisper today saying I could do this, and then you just poo-pooed it.
You didn't poo-poo it. You kind of did it. Brilliant.
Well, I'll say it. I was like, I'll sneak up to the distiller and I'll turn her invisible. And then you went, she disappears. And Dave was like, fucking hell, you did that fast.
She's gonna bamf as she reappears outside of this Furor next to Kirik, and she's just gonna sort of almost place her hand on his shoulder. You have to leave. You have to leave now. And that will be her with her action done. Is then Bell's go. Carry on.
I'll say, Danny, can we find out how many people we can take? I don't know where we look on his sheet.
Kirik.
Yeah. We have another way out. So,
He's already used Cape as a mountebank.
Okay.
Yeah, you crack on.
Yeah. I suggest you whisper in the background around that. I know what you're on about, Dave. So, Bell then. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Asmodeus said you'd be fun. And he is going to... What is he going to do? Do you know what? He's just going to step to there. 5, 10... In fact, no, he's not going to walk down the stairs. He's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, jump down for 25, 30, and land next to Kirik. So there's going to be 2 great sword attacks. One to Kirik first. Oh, that's not good. That's a 21 to hit.
Meets his armor class.
Oh, so it will hit. Interesting. So Kirik is going to take 24 points of slashing damage.
Oh, which I believe you'll have to
Takes
add.
24.
Oh, he's just going to do it.
24,
And
yeah.
23 points of fire damage.
Ooh,
Can you do that? You should be able to do that to his character sheet. Can you do that or not?
Okay.
I don't think we can, no.
Right, bear with me.
Yeah. I'll just write it down. And I'll do it.
It's fine.
47.
I'm a DM. I have the power.
I have the power.
And I can also just press that button to get up his character sheet. Love a stream deck. So,
I'll live without him.
game log, that was 24 and 23. Kirik didn't enjoy that one. Bell is then going to make a second swipe towards the distiller. That's kind of better, and that's going to hit. That is a 35 to hit. She is going to take 16 points of slashing damage, followed by 28 points of fire damage. And the distiller is most certainly at this point bloodied. As this second swipe just comes in and sort of almost knocks her backwards. You just hear the "Ugh!" and she falls to the floor with that sort of hit. She's only a squishy wizard. And then, how far's Nathan? Yeah, the tail of Bell is just going to whip out towards Nathan. For a natural 1.
Press it.
There we go. So as this tail whips out, Nathan's almost just going to grab it and then let it go. Not today. That will be Bell's go. Bothrid, in tiger form, or saber-tooth tiger form, is going to attempt to bite Moloch. Pardon me. For a 21 to hit, which will hit, and that's 1d10 plus 5. So that is 10 points of piercing damage to Moloch. Let's just double check. Can only do that once, I believe. So bites into Moloch and is then going to, I believe, using the... where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I've lost it. I've lost it. I've lost it. I know he can use... There we go. Combat Wild Shape. So he is going to use... He's going to expend one of his spell slots to regain 1d8 HP per level of this slot. So he is going... No, he's not going to do that because... Yes, he will. We'll do it at first level. So 1d8 health. That's a d8. So that's a grand total of 2 points of health back as a tiger. And that will be Bothrid's go. He's not moving, just snarls at Moloch. Moloch, you can see some of the wounds that you've created, Dargon, and some of these bite wounds that Tigrid's now created look like they begin to start to close up, but then the radiant damage, that radiant aura that's sort of bleeding around him, just seeps into those wounds and almost pulls them apart slightly wider. Pain. Naughty, naughty kitty. And he is going to... What have we got? Oh, I need to do some measuring. Okay. It's going to breathe out in this 30-foot cube, which is going to catch Nathan and Ander as well. Everybody needs to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
That can only go well.
We'll start with Ander.
Oh, natural 20!
Yes!
Nice. So, as this breath just swoops over you, you can feel almost the fear sink into your very soul, but somehow you just see the distiller, see your friends, and it is gone. Dargon.
15?
You are going to take
Here we go.
30 points of psychic damage.
Good morning, Vicar.
Oh dear.
You are going to drop Timiel's Wrath.
Not cool.
And
Okay.
you are now frightened for a minute.
Right.
When I can find the right thing. Where has it gone? Frightened. There you are. So you're now frightened of Moloch. On your turn, you must take the dash action and move away from Moloch by the safest available route. On each of your turns, unless there's nowhere to move, in which case you don't need to take the dash action. If you end your turn in a location where you don't have line of sight of Moloch, you can repeat the saving throw, and on a success, the spell will end.
Jesus.
That is then you. So then we'll do Tigrid. Wisdom saving throw. Now, it's physical stats of the beast, mental stats of Bothrid. Not enough.
Blimey.
Bothrid's also frightened.
Kieran needs to make this save, man.
Kirik's not caught in it. It's a 30-foot
Oh, thank
cube.
God.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's just outside it. However, Natham is not. So Natham now needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
He'll be alright. No, he won't. He's a wizard. I think he's got intelligence.
24. Fine.
Okay.
Just staves it off as this wave of energy washes over him. Sort of cricks his neck. So that is then Moloch. It is then Nathan's go. So much to do. Oh, ba-dum. What can we do?
We're all concentrating so hard.
But yeah, I've got so much to
Oh, there's so
concentrate
many
on. You know
ideas
what?
going from my head.
Actually, I might as well say this because we've got time. So, I'm now concerned. Right, if I've got to use my action to dash, I will work out. I'll ask this later because I know he's concentrating. Is it a free action to pick up something in your area? At which point can I pick the sword back up? Otherwise, I'm running away from my sword, and therefore I do not want Kirik to leave. So there are things. Things afoot.
Or things
I
by
mean,
your foot.
technically, you are forced to drop it and run on your turn, basically.
There we go
Right.
then.
So it wouldn't be a free action to then pick it up because the fear's just in you, and you're just like,
Yeah.
no, fuck this, I'm out.
There we go then. Answers that.
Okay. Yeah, Nathan's going to risk this. He's going to point again at Bell and cast an 8th level Blight. So that is a Constitution saving throw from Bell. Oh, they're not good. That is a 21. Oh, it is going to save. So, it's going to take half as much damage. Very loud in my ear. That was 12d8 damage. That would have been a 54 had he taken the total. So that instead is going to be 27? 27 points of damage to Bell. Where's Nathan gone? There he is. So yes, 27 points of necrotic damage to Bell. Nathan will then, because he's immune to this effect anyway. Yeah. Just checking. Yep, that will be Nathan. Just had to very quickly flick through all of the things there. So, Ander, you are frightened anywhere. Well, no, sorry, you would become unfrightened, but I need another wisdom saving throw as you are in the aura again.
Ooh, well, that's a 3. So
You are frightened yet again of Bell.
So, Dagon technically hasn't run away yet, has he? So would I have seen Dagon drop his weapon and start to run?
I will see in this moment the weapon is falling and Dagon is beginning to turn.
Will I recognise it? Because I've been under the effect of something similar when we were fighting the Eladrin, so I recognise...
Make me an Arcana check with advantage, please.
What's about to happen?
That is free.
22!
22 is enough. You would recognise that Dagon is under the effect of that sort of fear-type spell or effect where you can see his eyes have gone wide and the only thing now occupying his brain is to get the fuck out of there.
So, I will then use the charge of my cloak to go invisible, and I will move over to where Dagon is, almost pick up the sword as he drops it, and then as I pick it up, it'll also become invisible because it's in my then sphere, won't it?
Okay.
And then bonus action disengage.
Well, bearing in mind you're invisible.
Okay, yes, I won't need to. So I'll just then move away from the big scary dude. So I've got Dagon's weapon and I'm invisible.
Should have an invisible thing around.
Right, I now can't shout to Carrick.
Check. Make me a stealth check with advantage, please.
Okie dokie. 21.
Why do I not have an invisible thing? That's fine, okay. You'll remember you're invisible, it's fine. So, let me d20. Yep. You managed to get in and out of there totally unnoticed. Anything else on your turn, or is that it?
I can't really shout or do anything. I'll get my position away, won't I? So I will stay put.
In which case, Ethereal is then going to... He's going to attempt it. He is going to look at Bell, and yet again... I said you are not welcome here. Points his finger, and this blast of greenish energy is going to shoot towards Bell, as Ethereal is going to cast an 8th level Feeble Mind.
Oh!
So that is an intelligence saving throw.
Kirik was here, he'd love to have failed that check for a third time.
Intelligence saving throw from Bell.
I don't know if they'll have good at intelligence, will they? Or have they got magical resistance, so you get advantage?
They have got magical resistance, if you'd not figured that out already. Rolled a 4 in the die the first time round and a 16 the second time round for a grand total of 23. Which, against Ethereal save, is enough. So, the creature is going to take 4d6 psychic damage immediately anyway. Can't get out of that one, so that's 15 points of psychic damage. And on a save, that is it. So that will be that as an action. Can't regain that spell back. Because that's not... don't think... Where was I? That was an 8th level spell, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's not going to work. Okay, then bonus actions. It's already manifest mind. He will then just roar out, and the only creature within 10 feet that is going to hear this is going to be Bell, who must make a wisdom saving throw. Ooh, that's a natural 1 and a 15. In fact, no, doesn't get advantage on that, because that is not a magical effect. That is a physical effect, so that is a natural 1, and Bell is frightened of Ethereal.
Yes! 2 can play that game.
As this roar just sounds out, and Ethereal stands there and sort of... It's almost one of those anime roars where you can see the very sound waves emanating from Ethereal.
Now, I'm just double checking, and I hate to be, one of these guys. Bell can be frightened, right?
Yes.
That's all right then. I'm very glad of
You
that.
nearly did a Samao on us then.
I did. I had to check. These
I had to go double
tell?
check then, because I was like, I swear I've just checked this. But no, yeah, he can be frightened.
I don't even know what they are.
So that's cool. I'm also not, because it's a natural 1, I'm not going to allow a legendary resistance.
Nice.
I concur.
I totally 100% agree.
With that, it is then Bothrid's go, who via the safest path must
I think
retreat.
it's Kirik out.
No. Sorry, it's Kirik now. I was looking, I saw Kirik and then went Bothrid, but it's not, it's Kirik's go.
Okay. Good. Because I thought I'd had a blackout and I'd miss Kirik's go. So,
I've just got too much to track, mate.
all Kirik will say is, you won't like it now, but you'll thank me later. And the shield will smash down in front of him. And it's almost as if the wings on the shield open up, the eyes glow really big red as Kirik takes everyone except the 2 devils through the veil to the land of the dead.
If he can do that in a
Read
certain
that out
way.
to me, please.
Please, Matt, come on. I've been thinking about this for ages.
'Cause I was
Once
gonna
per
say,
week, while the wielder is alive, you and up to 8 others can willingly walk into death.
What's the
literally-
range?
And then
It doesn't say.
doesn't say, it just says that. It says I can exit wherever I want,
Right.
as long as somebody's died there within a
I was
year.
going to say, I don't know whether it's somewhere else in his character sheet, but there is a very limited amount of information on his shield.
That's fine. Everybody's within 30 feet. So, in which case, the wings open up, and it's almost like the very veil of death appears before everyone as Ander, you are sucked through the portal. Dargon, you are sucked through. Tigrid, sucked in. Nathim turns and just bows his head as he steps through, and then the portal closes. 5 of you stand now in the veil of death.
Why 5?
Because there is a very, very key word in that statement.
They've got to be willing.
Which was willingly.
Fucking hell, the person I tried to save was unwilling. Idiot. The distiller, you...
I will say, however, everybody make me a perception check, please.
I mean, Ander was as willingly unwilling as he could be. He was like, he'll go, but he doesn't want to.
23.
That's a good one. 15 for me.
23. 15.
And then Kirik, what's his perception?
Will have advantage
Plus
on
5.
his as well.
I haven't got anything with a plus 5. I'll just roll it. So he got 16 on the first one. And then... Oh, yeah, 16 is his best.
Okay. As you all now take a moment, just sort of... as you feel that coldness of death around you, the river starting to try and pull you, but with Kirik there as an anchor and Nathim there also. Not drawn by the river, but glinting in the dim light. Looped onto Kirik's belt is a silver crown with a blue gemstone in the middle.
And that's just appeared.
Mm-hmm. Now that the sources of your fear are gone, nobody is frightened anymore.
Cool.
Nathan is then all of a sudden just going to look around. Where is she? Where is she? Why did she not come?
I tried, but she was unwilling.
No. Where's my sword? I'm going to drop my sword.
Oh, technically I'm still invisible, aren't I? I will drop my cloak and go, don't worry. I'll get you back. And I'll present you with your sword.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ender. Why did they not come with us?
To drop me again, Dargon.
I'm sorry. I don't know what that beast did to me. Kirik, where do we go from here?
To be honest, I don't know. The person I wanted to save didn't actually come, so I'm not sure where we go from here.
Nice. RPing for Kirik as well. Love it.
It was his/my idea, so I've got to see it through, I suppose.
It's all good. Enjoy that. Nathim is just going to take a moment. He sort of just kneels down in the water. I have to go back.
We all have to. We can't leave them there. That was Kirik.
You have more pressing matters. And I would come with you. But I have to go find my wife.
Do you really think that we're just going to leave a pile of dead bodies of our friends behind us? We've had enough of this. We'll come and help you.
No. This is not your fight. Not yet. You're in the middle of something. You're almost there. I can sense it. I can feel the very power radiating off you both. He looks to you and Ander. I don't know what that is.
Fucking no idea.
Finish this. See it through.
Aye.
Oh, I think he's right.
You're always
Dagger.
right. I know he is. He always has been.
Bothrid in tiger form is just going to slowly but surely just shrink back down. Well, this is twice in one day. Not fun.
Oh, didn't mean to invoke any flashbacks, Bothrid. Sorry.
It's twice in 15 minutes,
okay.
actually, but...
Kirik with me both times. We are good.
Speaking of Kirik, how long have you had a crown? What is that?
I will RP for Kirik in this moment. Fine. Kirik's going to take the crown off and sort of look at it. You would all instantly recognise it as the crown that the distiller had worn every single time that you'd ever encountered her.
Holy crap.
And make me an investigation check with advantage, please.
How come you've got the
Come on,
distiller's
begin.
crown?
Come on, begin.
She must have given it to me when we left. I'm going to say a 12 is good enough. You have seen this kind of gemstone before. In fact, I believe there is one still in your possession.
Hang about. Let me frantically look at my... I've got a green chromatic rose. Is it like one like that?
Maybe you don't.
Or
have
do you
any
mean
more.
the one that I stole that
did.
caused the flood? Before when we was on the nine
No,
flares?
you do have one. You have a
Runestone.
Yes.
It's, you know that stone I found that made me more powerful against the mind demons or whatever they were. It buzzed around my head and made me more intelligent.
I think it's the mind
That's what that
flames.
is on that crown.
Wow.
So
Bloody hell.
So does that mean she's less powerful now, and she's stuck with those devils?
Stuck in a bloody room with them. Look, we need to get going.
I mean, she never does anything by accident. She's given it to us for a reason. She left herself even more vulnerable.
So I've just seen messages come through from our resident cleric. Which is
I specifically asked you not to do this. Sorry, somehow.
I'm so sorry.
So Kirik, I will say with his intellect, or at least his wisdom, is going to look at this, think on now the armour that Dargon wears. Think on the other gifts that have been given. I think they're here to help us. We might need these, and they realise this.
Do you think they're gifts from God? So you've got the Everlight's armour as a gift from that deity. This could be frantically looks through notes, is whatever the intellect one is called. I can't remember.
Well, the Ioun stone. It would be from Ioun.
So yes, this could be like a religious almost artifact or religious symbol for her if she worships that god. And then you've got the druid's pouch and the Cooper's box. So are these all just tokens of their deity that we can use to combine for power against Asmodeus?
It may well be the only thing we can do. When we're out of death, Let's make sure that the right person has the right thing.
Perhaps we should look at these while we are in relative safety. Blech. As he has a cold shiver run down his back.
I think we all need to get somewhere away from all of this fight and recover. Kirik, how the hell do we get out of here in a sensible place? Can we go to...
That's the bit I don't know. It says I can exit, but do you have to go to the 9th gate?
No, we have to...
So you exit in a location where you know somebody died, and the way Kirik RP'd this was that he found that very soul of somebody who he known had died, and wherever they were within the realms of death, then stepped out by finding them, basically. So just needed to be in the vicinity of that person who had died and stepped out then in the location where they had died.
But, so we need to pick someone we know died in a location roughly where we want to go, or even not where we want to go, but not here, and end up there. So whether it's like Telma...
I was just thinking Telma, because it's closest to the lake.
Yeah, you know, I don't think there's any... I can't think of anyone else that we know who has died on the North Shore.
Who do we know that died at Telma?
He didn't though, did he? Bugger. Before we started streaming, we were there and people died, but...
The only people we know who died there are technically the enemies we killed when we were there just a few days ago.
Yeah, plus they're not... I don't know whether they count, if that makes sense. Okay. Who do we know of? Or
we
is
know
there
where Bothra died. We know one of us has died technically in the last year. We've all died in the last year.
But our souls haven't stayed in the river. That's the point. We'd need to find that. Unless we literally know of anyone who died outside in the town, and we pop back out in the town and then peg it. That's the only thing.
Also, is this a loophole? It says you can choose to exit at a place where you know something died within the last year. That could be a tree.
I mean, if it is that, then it can be the enemies that we killed in Telma, right? So, if you want to try that, if you think of Telma, we can find out whether that's possible.
Because what else has happened in the last year? So Moonbright, I don't want to go back there. Green Flowers, too far away. River's End and Deluin are too far away. And still fucked, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sea Meat.
While you're discussing this, Bothrid is going to, having Kirik still sort of stood holding this crown looking at it, Bothrid is going to take out the little pouch that the blender threw at him, and he's going to open it, and then he's going to pull out what looks like a whip, but
like an
made
Jones
of
whip.
almost thorn. It almost looks like a very long thorny vine coiled into a whip.
What are you going to do with that, Bothrid?
Whatever she needed me to. Use it, I guess.
So, Dian, would Kirik know, can it be something we've killed in Telma?
Kirik would know. What I am going to say is those creatures that you killed were undead spirits anyway. So Kirik would know that that is probably not the right way. However, you guys, Kirik will probably explain this to you. The both of you have witnessed death in Telma. You have been the cause of death in Telma.
So can we guide him To a degree.
Because all of this has happened within a year.
Good lord.
Even before we were streaming, isn't it? So
Probably over a year now. Because you have the 6-month gap in the Feywild.
6 month?
First time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
if it has been
There was
a year, I've
obviously a
got to go back
significant
and
time
do
period.
my booster shot.
No. So it's not been a year since then. It's probably been around 7 months-ish, 7 or 8 months since you were in the
If you forget
Feywild
about
that
the time
first
skips.
time when the boys died. Because then you've also had that brief time skip as you've exited from the Feywild that last time.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
So, I will say then, while we are deciding this, let's take a short break. I'll let you boys have a think about what you want to do. And then we will return with a bit more of a plan, hopefully. So stick around, viewers.
And send a postcard in the chat, please.
See you in a minute.
Heyo!
Hello.
Hey-oh.
We are back.
Chitty chatty chit chat.
Very, very narrow escape there. From Bell and Moloch. So, thank you to everybody who is in the chat and join us for episode 91. Thank you to everybody who's watching on YouTube, everybody who's listening on the podcast. Thank you so much for all the support. Yeah, this one's probably not as exciting as last week, but that's because all the shit that was going on. However, the group now finds them in a very difficult predicament. Having escaped into the Vale of Death, currently in the 1st District of Death, you now as a party have to find somewhere to get out that is of relative safety. So, Wardens of the Vale, where are we heading?
I'm trying to remember, guys, where we know someone died. And I wonder whether we're actually thinking specifically where we saw someone die. But I think we should broaden our minds, and there should be someone who we know has unfortunately died, and we knew them when they were alive. Kirik, is that enough for us? Because I'm thinking that we know Seameat has most likely been attacked, and we know plenty of them there. I'm guessing if we try and look for a soul of someone who hasn't died, you can't find them. So how about we think about someone from Seameat and see whether you get a ping?
Yes, because strategically we want to go to Telma because it's closest to the lake. But the good people of Telma we know that have died was before we were united with Kirik. So Kirik, you will not know them, which might make it hard for you to find them to exit. And I'm not sure we could guide you there either, because our connection to this place isn't that strong. Whereas at Seameat, do we know the other sailors? For example, that when we was at the port, and we obviously chose Captain Swift, we know the people in the Chinese style, Oriental style boat died, and we knew them from Seameat. Could we find them?
I don't know if they're dead though, so the ones that brought us back to, well, they sailed us along the lake last time,
Yeah,
didn't
they did. I'm assuming they're dead. That's true.
This does give me an idea though. I don't have to know them personally. Sure, I think I have an idea.
I'm all ears.
Yeah.
Could be interesting on the other side, if it's still standing.
Are you thinking about the lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to suggest can we pop into the lighthouse? No one will know we're there. If
That's
it's
all right,
under
shout.
siege, we will be okay. Well, hopefully they won't know we're there, and we can still rest. I'm uncomfortable because, Kirik, I can see it in your eyes you want to rest in this infernal, godforsaken...
I mean, I came here willingly. I'm not staying here willingly, I'll tell you that now.
So I'm willing to risk getting out before we can recover. So I
And then I
think
can
it's the
prepare
best
the hut if
opportunity.
needs to be.
Safer here than we are out there.
But I can prepare the dome of safety for us when we get there.
Sure, okay. Whatever you guys want to do. I think,
So
Oh,
the Elven
sorry.
Guards,
given
right.
how long this one's been dead,
He's going to be far into death.
yeah.
who are you thinking?
The elf.
The Elven Guard.
Yeah. We're going to have to travel through death, aren't we?
It's the only way.
Maybe we need to rest here first. We're not making it all the way through death.
Can I still create the hut here? The dome?
Don't see why not. Nathan would chime at this point and say, I've never had any issue with spells in this place. But then again, I am hers. Of a sort.
Can we... what did we do last time? Did we lay down somewhere?
We anchored ourselves to you, if I remember correctly. And you used that potion to stay awake all night.
Well, we don't have that, so what are we going to do now?
There's the hut.
I can ritual cast the hut, and then...
Will the
We
hut
can all-
save us from the power of the river?
Are we in the river now?
Damus's hut. The hut of bones and scraps.
Oh, we go and hide in there. Let's go hide in there. And put your
Have you
dome
told
up.
me about this hut from when you were here last time?
Oh, yeah, we've talked about it.
You probably would have had a full regalia of what happened.
Okay.
We're not telling you about going into death and having a good old chinwag.
With old Greg? Yeah, alright, let's do it.
Yes, that I can unfortunately get on board with.
Because then what Kirik could do after a rest and after he's regained his strength, he could actually look ahead to see if Simi is safe or no anywhere is safe.
Well, I mean, that's all well
I
and
can
good.
Do that.
You could do that, but he's going to waste a spell, because tell me if I'm wrong, but aren't we going there anyway? Like, oh, it's clear, we're going. It's under siege. We're going anyway. Or are we not?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
It's wasting a spell. I mean,
Could we loophole it? Is Sorroy Falls technically part of Glen Taugh? Or somewhere we know someone has died? Is it in the same postcode?
Sorrow's Falls is like just south down the mountain range, but yeah, it's not far from Glen Taugh.
So could we appear at Sorrow's Falls so then we're directly near where we need to be for Lake Essenay? Or do you think that's going to be too close?
Do we know anybody who's died there?
Hang about. I know. Potentially, what do I know? I could reasonably know. There's a dead brother king under the lake. We could just appear, come out of death at the bottom of the lake.
yeah, they're at the
Hold
like.
my breath.
I'm
There's only
not comfortable with that.
There's only 9 gates, and I swear he's at the 27th. So you know.
Yeah, that's true.
He be owned.
He'd be on
He
it.
gone. He gone. I just fell off my chair. That's disconcerting.
As long as it's not you, mate, we're all good.
At this level of
Yeah,
thinking, I don't trust either of us to stay in our chairs.
We've come full circle to see me again. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Rest in the hut.
Yeah.
See me. We
Yeah.
agreed?
Yeah.
Bothered? I'm with you till the end.
No,
Again.
Nathan, are you going back to try and help them, or sticking with us?
I'm going back to find my wife.
Can't fault you. Go get him.
Be safe, boys.
I'll clasp his
See
hand.
this through.
Head nod. Touch foreheads.
And he'll actually, as he grabs your hand, he's going to release your hand and sort of place his hands either side of your head and just touch his forehead to yours. We've had a time. And a lifetime. I'll see you on the other side.
I'll see
At
you
least I
there.
know what's coming, eh?
Don't get here too early. You look after both of you.
She knows what is going to befall me. She'll decide. He's going to look at Kirik and wink knowingly. You see them through to the other side.
You talking about the Raven Queen or your wife?
Both.
Be safe.
Don't lose those gifts, boys.
Clinging on to them
Don't
dear
lose
life.
them. Right. Just going to crack his neck once. Crack it to the side. Grip the staff that is like this elongated, withered hand. I think I might take a few things. Sorry about this, Kirik. And he's going to smack the staff on the ground. And as he does so, there are these spirits. They get sucked through and begin to fly around him. Oh well. Let's fight hell with death, shall we? And he's then going to walk forward and just almost runs towards life, that golden glow, and just jumps through it. And as the spirits go through, you can see the veil parts momentarily as he steps forward, and there you can see Glen Taugh beyond. It's in one of the alleyways somewhere, and there are bodies around him, and as he steps out, the bodies begin to rise and sort of shamble up and just bend in strange ways. He turns, smiles once more, and steps forward as these zombies now and undead creatures just shamble after him, following his every word. Kirik would hear in his mind, "Don't worry, buddy. When I'm done, I'll lay him to rest again."
What a creepy
And lay
pipeline.
them steps of necromancer.
Damn.
So, the four of you then turn as Kirik sort of almost immediately begins wading towards the waterfall at the end of the first district. And as he approaches, he speaks a word and a rune appears in the waterfall. And he steps beyond into the second district. And I very quickly need to pull up stuff.
So, as we're walking, when we find refuge and we can rest, we need to study the gifts we've been given, figure out what they do and how we can use them. You've got the armour. You've got the Cooper's box. Bothrid, figure out if that whip does anything other than
Whip.
sting. I'll look at the crown.
Enough talk. Be on your guard. Keep your eyes out. This path has been created through this waterfall now, almost parts in front of you. And you step forward into the second district, where the current is much, much stronger here. And Kirik sort of always holds all of you. Step where I step. Try not to fall. And he begins to walk along the current this time, and it sort of almost picks him up every now and again. I need everybody to make me dexterity checks with advantage, please. As you are grounded by Kirik in this
Dexterity
space.
save or check?
Dexterity saving throw, yeah.
Good. No difference for me. I mean,
Kirik
I'll take
doesn't
it.
have to make these, by the way.
16.
I got a 17 with a +9,
Nice.
so that was bad.
Bothrid gets a 21.
Go on, Bothrid.
All four of you manage to make it through, and you see sort of Kirik winding his way around these sinkholes, for want of a better term, where the water just begins to sort of spiral down in places, and you reach... as you step forward, you see this whirlpool in front of you, and again, Kirik speaks a word, and a rune appears in front of him, and the whirlpool stops, and you can walk down it. And you begin to walk down towards the 3rd district. Here, the water is ankle deep, it's warmer, it's more pleasant, it's deceptive. The light is also less of a dim twilight and slightly better. You can see further around you here. Kirik instantly breaks into a run and shouts, "Follow!" And that's when you hear it. The
Break into a
wave
run.
that crashes behind you. Everybody, bomb forward. I need everybody to make me an athletics check with advantage, please.
Oh. Not very good at athletics.
I am, but I still only got a 19. Fuck's sake.
Oh, thank God I rolled a 19. 20.
Bothrid got a 28.
Go on, Bothrid.
So all of you just
Kirik needs to make it.
sprint forward now. Kirik's fine. Kirik doesn't need to make any checks. This is his domain, really. And as you reach sort of the 3rd gate, if you like, this wall of mist, Kirik just shouts this spell, and there's almost like metallic flames which burn around his mouth for a moment, and a rune appears, and the mist parts, and you jump through into this parting as the wave just crashes against the mist, but no further. And you're into the 4th district here. Kirik again shouts almost this spell immediately upon passing through. You step through, and again there is this waterfall, but it drops down. It appears to be only a few feet, but you realise very quickly that it is much higher and much stronger. And it drops down almost instantly into another district. But as Kirik shouts this second spell in quick succession, a dark bridge, very narrow, appears in front of you. And Kirik then sort of stops. Shit. We went too far. Carefully, turn around.
What do you mean, went too far? We surely had to go quite a long way for this one.
It was the 4th, wasn't it? The hut was in the 4th.
Ah, we're looking for the 4th, not the body, of course. Yeah.
I got distracted by the 6th, but that was where we were. She sent us to the 6th. Turn carefully. I need everybody to make me acrobatics checks with
I can do them
advantage,
once.
please.
Holy crap, 2 19s. 21.
28.
Bothrid
Oh no.
turns and slips on this bridge and begins to fall off it. I'm going to ask you to roll for Kirik. Roll a
I'm going to lose Bothrid.
roll an athletics check for Kirik to sort of drop and try and catch Bothrid in this moment.
Bloody +0. What sort of shit is that?
No.
12 from Kirik. And that has a backup plan just in case.
Bothrid slips, smacks against the bridge and slides off. goes to grab Kirik's hand, and in that moment, it's just falling in slow motion down towards the 5th district.
I will cast Levitate on him, and he'll just start floating, won't he? And he'll rise 20 feet.
So he does rise up.
You can reel him in. Or I can just hold him like a balloon.
Throw him over.
I can just walk. If you want.
You throw a rope and just begin to pull him along behind him. No, you manage to sort of settle him back down on the bridge. And you walk back through into the 4th district. So I try and kill a fly that's buzzing around my face. In here, again, it's similar to the 1st district, but the current again is much stronger. It's a relatively calm district as well. Kirik sort of explains, should be able to move freely around here. I think we have to follow the mist. And he just sort of sets off along the mist and follows it. Everybody make me perception checks, please.
Including Kirik.
Including Kirik.
Oh, so 15 for Ander and for Kirik.
17.
Yeah, 22 biggest advantage there. So 22 is his best.
Great. Barthor gets 4. Barthor paying no attention whatsoever. What did you get, Dargon? Sorry, 22?
Kirik got 22.
Yeah, no, 19.
Kirik got 22. 19, sorry, I had various numbers coming up there.
Yeah,
so between Dargon and Kirik now, looking out specifically for this, you walk for an hour, 2, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you don't know. Time is very difficult to gauge in this place, but eventually you see that strangely constructive hut that is on stilts that are made of giant bones, and the hut itself is made out of bones, what looks like taut skin that has been tanned to form like a leather structure and form this hut around it, the door of which is still open.
I suppose it's fairly apt that Kirik and Dargon see it first. They saw it before.
Well, you didn't. I know you told me about it, but you didn't warn me it was this creepy. It's a bit Buffalo Bill, isn't it?
Oh, heads up, and it's kind of creepy. There you go, done.
It is death, Ander.
I know, but you're comfortable here. I'm not.
Let's get inside. Get that hut going.
Okay. Who's going inside first?
Kirik.
Yep.
Okay. As Kirik sort of steps up, walks up this sort of steps / ladder type thing up towards the entrance and pushes the door even further open. One of the 3 or 4 stools that were there around a rancid pot of what was once a stew left to rot and decay in this area. The hut inside this, it stinks. It's god awful in here. You see the remnants of the chains that Deimos used to hold himself against the central pillar of this hut itself. And in that moment, as Kirik steps in, one of the stools just shifts slightly. And is
Who's
then
there?
still.
Who's there? I'll go in behind Kirik.
Silence.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
You can.
I'd either see if there's anything magical in here, or I would not exactly see if there was anyone invisible, but I would see an aura of some sort of illusion magic. So I wouldn't see where, but I may see it, I believe.
What you see It's almost like everything just becomes this viscous, black, oily substance around you.
No
See
other
nothing else.
markers. No. Looking at, like, for instance, Kirik, I can still see, though, a slight sheen off some of his stuff.
Oh, so when you look back at your allies, they are like almost like negative space in this oily residue.
Okay. Yeah.
You would then see the green enchantment magic and those sorts of things, and the different magic that those people give off with all the items they've got.
So that quick check means I know that I can see magic and I'm not seeing it anywhere else, to my knowledge. Okay. Well, what do we do? Can I go over and tap that stool with my foot?
As you go over and tap that stool with your foot, slide along the floor.
Well,
As if you've just tapped it and moved it, not
Yeah, yeah.
unnaturally.
yeah. Alright. I can't see anyone
Well,
here.
it's no less horrible than the rest of this place, so seems
Don't-
okay.
We have
Don't
no other
that's-
choice, really. Let's just...
Dump that stew outside
Let's
and
rest.
get that flipping up going.
I'm tired.
The smell's not going to attract any weird death predators, is it?
Just dump it outside, it stinks.
I think if anything's going to attract any weird death predators, as you call them, it's going to be us.
Oh, good.
The dead are drawn to life in this place.
Oh, good. I wasn't nervous enough here. That's lovely. Thank you.
Just get the hut up. We can take watches. We won't stay any longer than we need to.
Does it help that all of us are a little dead inside?
How
Due
long
to
does it
emotional
take,
trauma
Amber?
suffered in... What? To put my hut inside the hut?
Yeah.
So if I cast it as a spell, it's a minute, but if I ritual cast it, what will that be, an hour?
10 minutes, isn't it?
10 minutes.
10 minutes plus casting time, so it's like 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me 10 minutes or so. I can have it ready.
Alright. Go on then.
I will watch door. You'll
I'll start
notice
doing the business.
He's got the whip coiled around into his belt. He's just sort of tucked it around there. And in those sort of 10 or 11 minutes, Dargon?
Yeah, so in those 10 or 11 minutes, can I at least open the box that I got from the Cooper?
Mm-hmm.
What's inside again?
As you open the box, there are 2 braces inside there that gleam with this silvery platinum-like shine, if you want. Also looks like they are made of scales themselves, or scale patterned.
Can
They
I
are
make
both
it-
adorned with the symbol of a platinum dragon.
Okay.
They're going to be like Wonder Woman's cuffs, aren't they?
Knowing the knowledge, the fighter knowledge that Dogon would have, he would know these as braces and know they're only useful without armour. Am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
And remind me, does Bothrid wear any armour?
Bothrid has currently got, I believe, a chain shirt or something similar. Let's have a look. He has got no armour. He wears the Chimera's cloak,
Okay.
which gives him his AC, I believe. Yes, because he gets his unarmoured defence.
So do I know, with Dargon's knowledge, that he can benefit from these, even though, because he's not wearing armour, he is wearing something else?
I would say yes. You reckon he could potentially benefit from these?
And with detect magic up, do I see these as inherently magical?
Oh yes, they are definitely magical. What you notice is these actually seem to shimmer throughout various different auras. There's maybe a bit of evocation magic, maybe abjuration, enchantment. They almost seem to bleed through different effects.
Bothrid, I don't think I can particularly use these braces very well, but I think they may do you some good. Maybe put them on and see how they fit after a while. I'll hand them over.
Does nobody else want Kirik? And
did you wear armour? I believe you wear armour, don't you?
I've got only leather armour.
But you wear, you do wear armour though.
Oh, actually, no, tell a lie. I've got mithril. Mithril plate or mithril chainmail or something.
So if I remember rightly, so what I think you can still wear braces with armor, but the armor you've been given specifically, Dargon, is a full set.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any rules to that effect. Chat can keep me honest, or Kirik can keep me honest.
Let's have a quick look. I thought that you could literally only wear them.
If the Cooper uses them, he's got armour on, hasn't he?
You gain a +2 bonus to AC if you're wearing no armour and no shield.
I think that depends on the braces, doesn't it?
Ah, does it?
Because not all braces provide an AC. So you're thinking of the braces of defense.
I could well be.
You are thinking of the braces of defense.
These ones might be like Shang-Chi's 10 rings. You might be able to fire energy blasts or do some cool shit. Has anyone way to find out? Bothrid?
I've always assumed, I've never even looked for braces for Dargon because I've always thought that he can't wear them.
Your AC's high enough.
I think it's only certain braces you can't use.
Yeah. As I was going to say, I was
Basically,
looking at it from my armour, but I was like, if you can get more from it, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the braces of defense become pointless when you put armor on because their armor class is just negated by what you've got.
Yeah.
There's no real point. But yes.
They're good for monks, is what we're saying.
Well, there's braces of archery, there's braces of defense, there's...
So I've got my gloves of thievery and also, so I don't think I need anything else on my hands.
Okay, so retconning that, because actually Dave did not know anywhere near as much as Dargon would. I'd say to either Kirik or Ander, when you're done with this hut, do you think you might be able to investigate what these actual things are?
I can try.
I don't know whether you guys can.
I was gonna. I can try and do it while I can investigate the crown and the bracelets if you want.
Well, you're gonna have to do that after you do the hut.
Yeah. While we're in the hut. Yeah.
Can you actually identify specifically that?
Only if I roll good enough, I think. I mean, Arcana's not too bad. I've got +7 on Arcana.
Yeah, my Arcana's balls.
But if they're a fighter item, I might not have a fucking clue what's going on.
That's the point. We need to know what they are now that I know that there's way more things than just basically
Well, actually,
defense.
Cooper's a paladin, isn't he? So that's not going to be a fighter item. But I think...
Another question is actually, can Kirik or Ander take any more things they might need to attune to? Yeah, I was like, I don't know whether you've got attuned to these bad boys or not, but...
No. I can identify what they
I'll
are
let you
without
into
attuning.
a hint. All of these items are going to require attunement.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So,
Yeah.
like, if
So
you
I can
basically,
swap stuff out if you want them.
it's irrelevant if you guys would use them. You can't, if you know what I mean. Like, and obviously you could swap something out, but at this point you need to find out what they are and choose.
I can still find out what they are though without. So kind of go through the attuning process without actually attuning to it, right? Like study it to find out what it
Bothrid
does.
also is currently got the Gauntlets of Ogre Power, which were gifted to him by Ander donkeys years ago.
Oh yeah, of course. Now he presumably you're not going to be able to wear braces with the gauntlets.
Not over the gauntlets.
Okay.
Not over the gauntlets, no.
Maybe these braces are just going to go around a couple of people. And I mean, I can put them on and see what the hell happens. All right. Why don't I do that? Because I actually have not attuned to nearly anything at the moment. I've got 1 out of 3.
They won't fit with your current armour, though, will they?
Oh, of course.
Not with the Everlight's armour. The Everlight is a full set of body armour, basically.
Might be the sort of thing, if we meet up with Johannes again, we give him... I suppose the question is, can we find out what they're doing, what they do, without having to juggle around our attunement items, or do we have to technically attune to it?
Well, you can attune to them to try and understand what they are. If you've got abilities to try and identify them, you can. If you've got abilities to commune with something, then you can potentially try that route as well. The DC will be higher or lower depending on what you try to do.
I think I could figure out what the crown does, given that I've previously attuned to an Ioun stone, so I've already got a head start in kind of figuring out what it does. I can always have a go at the gauntlets afterwards.
Okay, so I will...
I think if they're a religious-y type item, Kirik might have a better chance.
Either Kirik needs to have a look, or I'll ask the sword. So, if I assume that I'm still doing this while you're making said hut, then I might as well give it a go. So I'm going to bring out the sword, and I will say, I've got these braces, pretty magical. Interested to know. I've been told that I really can't use them, but that's because I'm wearing this armour now. Do you know anything about these? They seem old.
Using... Has Tamir Wrath got stats?
Yes. I shall find
Using
them.
her stats, then.
Intelligence of 12, Wisdom of 15, Charisma of 14.
Okay. Make me, then... make me an intelligence check using Timir's Wrath, then, please.
So that will be... If it's a plus 2,
actually,
it's a plus
let
1.
me think. What's history? Yeah, history is an intelligence check.
History is an intelligence check, so it's a plus 1 like mine. My god, my sword is as intelligent as me. That's horrendous. 12.
They are indeed old, and... Well, one would assume they're to do with the Platinum Dragon, Bahamut. But no. I don't know anything of this. Of these.
Yeah. Well, thanks for looking anyway. You'll see what this armour's like, though. It's quite comfy. It's not bad, actually, for full.
There's something warm about it.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird in a place like this, but comfortable and comforting. Just like having you around here. Right. Oh, that was a... Thank you for being around for that battle. And I'm so sorry that I dropped you. That was not my intention.
Try not to do that again.
Yeah. I think we owe Ander I don't know, beer, something, ale. Wine. He probably likes
we've
wine
saved
more
his
than ale.
ass plenty of times that I'd call it even, personally.
Oh, you canny bastard.
Yeah, but I wish you'd bloody hurry up with this hurt. I say in my head.
I'll just reply, I heard that in your head.
as the spell is complete. When the hut appears over you all.
I know what you need for Timuel's Wrath. You know those things that attach to your Wii controller or your Nintendo Switch controller, so when you're doing Wii tennis and stuff, it doesn't fly off. You need one of them, so if you drop it, it's just dangling there on a string.
Just takes his leg
So
off
now-
as it falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a hot knife, just like
We are the knights that go knee. And you're just hopping around. So now I've prepared the hut, and let's just go around us. I'll then ask Kirik for the crown, so I can study that, and then I think the bracelets are for another day, or I can look at them after the crown. You need to figure out what that armor does. It might be useful sooner than you think.
Yeah. I will take, the hour, if I may. Oh, no, can we do that? Yeah, I suppose we can. I'm just thinking about the fact if we take an hour now to attune to stuff, and then 8 hours sleep, we're going to have an hour at the end of our sleep that means that we are not protected.
Can you attune stuff on your watch, then?
DM?
Is that just...
Okay.
We've allowed that before. So
Lovely.
I will allow it in the sake of not being too much of a fucking stickler for timings. Because, yes, you'll get your rest, and yes, you can attune to these items within that 8 hour time, if you choose to.
I'm happy to do it on my watch, then. If I could take first watch?
Yep. And then on my watch, I'll do the crown.
Okay.
And then I'll ask Kirik to do the cuffs if he can.
Yeah.
And then that's all. That's everything so far. And then
Both-
Bothrid, if you try and
Bothrid
figure out
will.
if the whip
Bothrid
does
will do
anything
his.
other than go whoppa, that'd be good.
Whoppa!
I was happy with that
Okay,
noise.
so as the other three sort of settle down, Kirik's sort of going to look around the room, and again, one of those stools just shifts, and you're going to see him visibly go.
Is it in the hut with us or outside of
Yep.
our hut?
You've cast the hut in this room.
So it's covering the whole room.
It's covering
So
the whole
can't-
room,
yeah.
and we have something that's moving in this room.
Just chuck them out the door through the hut. Just chuck them out.
All right, I'll pick the stool up and lob it out.
Okay. Splashes into the water somewhere.
Kirik says, "Don't disturb the water."
It's exactly what I was going to say. Is Kirik would just look at you as if to say, just why?
So we shouldn't urinate in it then, no?
I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. I love winding him up.
Kirik will just uneasily sort of settle down, doesn't take his armour off, but just sort of settles down, closes his eyes, and the exhaustion washes over as you've been through 4, 5 battles, and it slowly just takes its toll. Kirik falls asleep. Bothrid is going to sort of sit next to Kirik very shiftily and takes a hold of the axe that he's been given and just lays it on his lap and holds on very tightly to it, but he too then just eventually succumbs to sleep with all that's befallen him, having been in death
Died.
and feeling very uneasy about falling asleep in death, knowing what happened or almost happened probably an hour, maybe more ago, who knows. Handa,
I
you
will
go straight to
snuggle
sleep.
up next to Bothrid and use my cloak as a blanket for us both.
And you
Nice.
disappear.
It's only when the hood comes up.
What are you doing under there?
So, Dargon,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
You'll have to let me know how much of this I can do, because I would like to obviously keep a watch out, but also attune, which I don't know whether how much of that is going to be me putting my attention more onto my armor, reading it, studying it, and so on and so forth.
So your attention will be more on the armor.
Yes.
So any DC to detect stuff is obviously going to increase.
Yes.
What are you doing with this armor?
Apart from just attuning with it, I'm going to leave it on So I suppose it is very limited as to how much I can probably look at it. But looking to see whether there's any inscriptions, any markings that I can see while still wearing it, to find out if I understand any more about it.
So I will say you begin to sort of look over this armour now, and it does glow with a slight radiant light to it. Even in this place, it's dimmed slightly now, but it does glow slightly. And you sort of run your hands along it and study it intricately. You rub across that symbol of the Everlight that is dead centre of the chest piece, and sort of reach up around to the shoulders. And as you reach around to where the shoulders are, and you sort of tuck your hand a bit further back, there feels like there's ridges on the back. And you go back to sort of that centerpiece, and you feel the symbol itself, and with that
Okay, I mean, I have
symbol the way it is, being that.
I'm happy to
Carry
say
on.
that I would probably look around, see if I see anything, and then take it off, which I know will take time, take a look, and then put it back on.
Okay, make me a perception check then, please.
A perception check. Ooh. 17.
Okay. You sort of have a quick look around, don't hear or see anything, and you shrug sort of the chest piece off and flip it over and look at it. And you see that symbol of sort of the woman with her arms outstretched, the wings, and those sort of bands of energy that loop around her. But as you turn it over, there is the pattern of wings on the back of this armour.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, mate, if you get wings.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll definitely then put it back on, and Dargon will be thinking whether it is a... No, Dargon is only going to be thinking of that is a curious emboss that has been applied to the armour. And then we'll continue his watch and attunement.
Make me a strength religion check, please.
Okay.
So add your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in religion, but if not, choose your strength bonus.
I'm just going to
13.
use a flying dagger now, and it's fucking awesome.
13, as you sort of place it back on and shrug, there is a pulse of warmth in your chest. And you go look down and you see almost just this slight pulsing light from the centre.
With that and the stuff that I have had with Palor on the tattoo, do I know anything about the connection between both of the deities?
Make me a history check, please.
Good question.
That is not like that, so that is going to be that. It's not bad. 15.
15. So you understand more about the Everlight now, having been in the temple within.
Yes.
Totally forgotten the name of the city, but yeah, that one.
Antonia.
Mantineer, thank you very much, and hope it began with an M. DM for getting his own shit there. Thank
Yep,
you very
there
much.
it is, at the top.
At the top there. You also remember, obviously, what you were protecting way back in the,
Yes,
in
of
the
course.
islands and in the mountains. Understanding now and remembering, the Everlight herself was a deity that was almost removed from history somewhat. And sort of it was only walking around Nyalin that you seemed to see places popping up and the support for the Everlight coming back. Prior to prior to the temple that you protected in the mountains, you'd not seen it anywhere else.
So
You know-
with also the fact that it has been an intense couple of minutes, basically, this is the first time he twigs that he's wearing now the armour of the temple, and a small gasp comes from him.
Make me a perception check, please.
"18.
That warmth, as your brain makes connections there, that pulsing warmth slows and spreads out across your body where the armour touches. And there's almost like a little tendril that reaches up into your brain. You feel warmth swamp your very head, and a voice speaks to you. It has been some time, Nalakutha.
Is my armour talking to me now, as well as my sword?"
Not quite. Here it's easier to reach.
"Am I in the presence of the Everlight?"
You are. But don't be afraid. It's interesting that...
I'm humbled.
Thank you. It's interesting they gave me to you, although fitting. And I do have a score to settle.
As do I.
So take this, Dargon, Thunderhand. Take it and use it. Let my radiance deliver to the Lord of the Nine swift vengeance. And it's almost like the understanding of the armour is almost downloaded directly into your brain. Now, I haven't finished creating this one yet, but I will do, and I'll make sure it gets added to your character sheet as but you now understand that it is a full heavy armour set. You get a +3 to your armour class. You also understand that you can activate something within this armour, a grace of sorts that sits within it, and that will grant you a flying speed of 60 feet.
Now we're talking.
I'm gonna be like one of those dragons from How to Train Your Dragon, the one that's really fat with tiny little wings.
Oh, you're going to fly over my head and I'll just look up your kilt every day. That'd be brilliant.
A healing pool of 50 points.
Nice.
And there will also be the ability to cast a couple of spells using it.
Nice.
And you're also immune to disease while you wear this and attune to it.
Beautiful. I may be wrong in remembering this particular artifact, which I'm sure you're making changes to, but does it also, by any chance, if I fall to 0, do some mental shite?
No.
Yeah, okay, that's different.
So you can fly, I can fly.
Just need
That's
Carrick's shadow to fly.
When you said the flying, is that flying all the time while he's wearing the armour, or just for like a set period of time?
No, only
Probably
while
for a
the
minute.
grace ability is activated, which you can activate as a
Some
bonus action
charges.
once per long rest, and that will
Yeah.
last for a period of time.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say, if you could fly all the time, mate.
So you
No.
also
It'll just ride down
understand
everywhere.
the name of this armour, which is called Solar Swift.
Nice. I'm in love with it.
And with that, your watch
Mate, it's
ends. You are attuned.
It's very generous of
and
Matthew.
It's
Carry on.
very
That
generous.
just tell me he's going to fuck us up with something because of this.
I was about to say, we are going to have to use every single thing in our armour, eh?
Yeah.
I think there's a few things that you as players have not cottoned onto with certain NPCs in this campaign yet, but we carry on. Your rest ends. And your watch ends. You are attuned to this armor. Despite your perception check, nothing seems to have entered the hut.
The stool
you
hasn't
sense
popped
anything around.
Hopped back in.
Nope.
Cool. I am waking up Ander, I believe.
Right.
Okay.
Cool.
You wake up, Ander.
Just as a little peek behind the curtain, I was trying to figure out what feat or what it was I had that could impose disadvantage on charming spells, right? Because I remembered I had it, but I couldn't remember how I got it. So I was looking through, I was like, I haven't even got a feat. It's not an eloquence thing. It's not a bad thing. Where the fuck has this come from? So I don't use my unsettling words for them to detract from the suggestion spell. I've realised I've got to play my loot. It's in my loot. It's a loot ability, that magical loot I've got. I got to play it while I cast a spell.
You've got it.
So I've remembered. So I need to remember any charming spell. I can use it to impose disadvantage. So it could have been helpful against the bloke because then he wouldn't have had an advantage on the save. I could have done both. I could have done unsettling words and played the loot.
What counts as a charming one? Like,
well, Matt's been kind as he usually is. It's usually if a spell that gives a charmed effect, but Matt said I could use it on. I can't remember what the type of spell is. The spell that uses.
Oh, is it the prism or whatever it's called?
Enchantment spells. So we're talking
it's
suggestion.
anything that is used to add all the mind. Basically, I've said for that. We've tweaked that slightly so if you're trying to charm or suggest something or those sorts of things, that's fine.
Oh, what about like hypnotic pattern? You've got that, haven't you?
That's illusion, though, not enchantment.
That's illusion.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Cool. So, Ander, as you are woken up by Dargon and Dargon sits down, and you can see now as Dargon sort of sits down where you were, the armour is like almost just radiating slightly. It's almost like pulses of light coming from the centre of the chest piece.
How many gods do you have the favour of now? It's becoming quite...
It's more about the fact that, I literally light up the bloody room. Like, it's wonderful, but I'm not creeping up on anyone, am I?
Well, because you were Captain Stealth before.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I could sneak up beyond you every time, Eyes of a hawk, Right, anyway, I'm going to bed.
Okay. Right, I shall crack on with this crown.
I'll set my little nightlight
go under the favour of any gods while you're asleep.
Cool. So you sit down with this crown.
Yes. I'll have a look. I'll have a little look there first, just to make sure there's no cracking off outside the hut or anything.
Make me a perception check, please.
No, I'll press performance. Ignore that. Definitely not got a plus 16 on perception.
Can't roll lower than a 10.
I
remember.
wish. Ooh, 16.
16. So you sort of look just towards the door. Nothing there. However, as you look into the room, there were 3 stalls. Now there's 4.
Ah. Should I be worried? Well, Dagon didn't say anything bad happened, so I'll leave it. I'll use one of the stools to sit down while I investigate the crown. Just, why not?
You sit down on one of the stools and take this crown out and sort of place it in front of you. And it looks around the size of the distiller's head. Dimensions made for her, sort of thing. And then in the centre at the front of this crown is a jewel which is uncannily similar to the one that you hold, the Iron Stone of Intellect.
So should I pull it out and compare the two then, do you think?
I'll say you're
I'll
doing
do
that, and as you sort of compare the two, it's easy to understand that yes, that's very, very similar, if not the same type of gem. It too has this sort of marbled, scarlet and blue type effect to it. As you spend time sort of studying the crown, I am going to need an Arcana check from you, please.
Let's hope it's a good one. Ooh, that's alright. 21.
Almost because you've got this one stone in hand that you're already attuned to, it's almost like there's a magnetic pull to this crown, and you just begin to instantly understand its features, and then it's like script begins to form on the inside. And on one side in Elvish, it reads the Circlet of Knowing.
And, well, no, I wouldn't know that. No. I wouldn't know that as the saying of that. Is Ioun the god? Is that the god's name? It is, isn't it?
There is a god called Ioun.
Yes. I wouldn't know that if that was his motto or catchphrase, would I? Yeah. Or his mantra.
Hers.
I could barely remember his name, even though the clue's in the name of the stone.
Hers.
Hers, bloody hell, I assumed the gender, sorry.
Always go with they.
It's advice for life.
So circle of knowing.
What do you like to do?
So, would I know that her wearing the crown then just gives her the permanent version of if I chose to attune to it and it circled around my head, just to make it harder for people to snatch, essentially?
Would you like to put
Does it
the
look-
Circle of Tom?
I've put a river crown I found on my head, so I might as well.
So knowing this, you lift up the circlet, and it grows almost as you slide it on your head. And then underneath your fingertips, you feel the shape actually shift and become less of a feminine circlet, more of a neutral band, if you like, which just flows around your head, but there, still in the dead centre, is this gemstone. A gemstone which you can see begin to glow as the glow sort of now radiates around this hut. Interesting.
No.
You dead? No, not dead. Just beyond.
Yeah, just visiting.
A wise choice. Tell me, what has become of my dear distiller?
I am hoping she is very much alive. She's merely gifted this to us to borrow, I assume. She thinks it'll help us in some way, or you will help us in some way.
Oh, will I? You young bard with a hint for tricks and traps. But yet something else about you. Something. A touch of something, I guess. Well, she does not gift things lightly, nor do I.
It seems you know so much about me already, but I know nothing about you. Who
It is my
am I
nature
acquainted with?
to know and to teach. I am the knowing mentor. The stone you hold in your hand is mine, a fragment of my power. This circlet is similar. Or I suppose it should be banned now. The band of knowing. Less poetic. Yes, fitting. Enjoy it. Use it. There are fights to come. And again, the voice fades off. It's almost like the knowledge is beamed into your brain now. You being attuned to so many items, you are going to have to pick now. But I think... I think you've got a slot, haven't you? No, you haven't.
No. So I'm attuned to the Cloak of Darkness, the Moonblade Dagger, and the loot, which gives me extra spells and stuff.
Well, you're lucky that this is to do with the Knowing Mentor. And as I read this, yes. Extra attunement slot.
No fucking way.
You actually get an extra attunement slot with it. I love it.
Okay.
So yeah, while attuned to this
I'm gonna be like
item,
Mega
you
Mind
gain
wearing
an
this.
extra attunement slot. You get an intelligence of +2. You get
I'm a
advantage on insight checks.
Oh, Kira, get your eye out.
Advantage on perception checks.
Oh, yes.
And you are proficient in all intelligence-based abilities.
Oh. Oh. That was a weird noise I made. That came straight from the
That was a
groin,
weird
that.
noise.
I think that
Again,
came
there
straight
are...
from the testicles. That did.
You'll be able to cast...
Straight from
You
Malt
will be
the
able to
bollock.
cast a couple of spells using this item. And while you are attuned, you can't be blinded, deafened, petrified, or stunned.
Oh my god, I am invincible.
So there you go.
And obviously, I've got a crown on, which suits under fine.
Hope you have a
Just
nice
like wobbles
band
it on his
around your
head.
head.
I'm going to have to go on Hero Forge, mate, and add it on. Right now.
It's all good.
See you
It's all
later,
good. We
viewers.
can update tokens ready for future. So we will say that takes an hour for you to begin to understand and sort of understand the extra abilities, the spells, and those sorts of things. But yes, your watch will end. And who are you waking?
Ooh, I'm very excited. I will leave Bothrid to his rest, and I'll go for Kirik first. Because I think Bothrid
Okay.
needs his rest. Although we're all fine, I don't want... He's a bit more traumatised by this place, I think, so... I don't think he'd want to do his watch next. I think he'd want to go last after Kirik's given the okay.
He's always got to do the breakfast. That's why.
And that's that, yeah, that's true. He's...
Okay, so as you then wake Kirik, both of you make me perception checks, please.
Shall I make it
Which are now at
for?
advantage, by the way, for you.
Shall I make it for Kirik?
I'm going to give you... I've got 26.
And Kirik got 22.
As you've stood and woken Kirik, the 4 stools have stacked themselves in a corner.
Right.
Silently,
Is this old Ben doing this?
you've not seen anything.
The stalls did something weird on my watch as well. There was more than there was before, and now they're all stacked. I mean, nothing happened to me. I even sat on one. So I don't think it's a problem. But obviously, keep your wits about you while you're trying to figure out what these bracelets are.
I don't like this hut.
What was your idea?
Yes, well, it's better than the river, but who knows what
It's
he
your
did
problem
in
for the
here.
next hour. I'm off to bed.
Thanks.
As I just fall asleep with my brain just throbbing from all of the genius that's running through it.
With your 17 intelligence, I believe it is now. Cool. So Kirik will take out these braces and sort of look at them, hold them, sort of places his hands over and begins to understand them, but sort of begins to try and understand them. And he's going to make a. I'm going to ask you to make a religion check for Kirik, please.
You doing it, Danny?
Yeah, man, I'm on it. +5. That's not bad, Kirik. He got a natural 20.
Ooh! Of course he did.
He's just going to hold them and slip them on his wrists. And then just closes his eyes and smiles. And silently. There is a... As he opens his eyes again, there is a shimmer to these braces. As they go through various metallic colours. Copper, bronze, silver, gold, brass. And then back to that platinum colour. And he's just going to sort of stretch his hands, click his hands around, as I just very quickly check to make sure he's not got anything that would restrict him from wearing braces, which I don't think he does. Not wearing any gloves or anything.
He's currently wearing chain shirt.
We're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. So as he sort of tries them on and the colours shift, 5 gemstones rise to the top as these scales shift. Each one not necessarily a gemstone as such, but almost an ingot of metal, if you will. Why? There we go. Looking at the wrong one. So there is a gold ingot, a silver ingot, bronze, copper, and brass on each of the braces. And he sort of touches each one in turn. And just mutters to himself. Gindris would find this interesting. But now we have the power of the dragons on our side.
What?
So, with these braces, a reaction, when attuned, a reaction can be used when hit to channel the power of a metallic dragon.
Oh, wow.
Each ability can only be used once per dawn. Gold. If he activates the gold ability, the opponent must make a strength save, or they will get disadvantage on strength-based attack rolls, strength checks, and strength saving throws for 1 minute. That save can be repeated on the end of his turn. If he activates silver, there is a constitution saving throw, or the creature is paralysed for 1 minute.
Boom, there we
If
go.
they use the bronze, there is a strength save, or the creature is pushed 60 feet away.
60?
This is Sparta!
60. Copper, there is a constitution save, or the creature is slowed for 1 minute. Their speed is halved, can't make more than one attack. In addition, can only use an action or a bonus action on their turn, but not both. And then if they activate the brass one, or brass, said both this evening because I can't make my mind up whether I want to be posh or not. There is a wisdom save, or the individual falls unconscious for 10 minutes. That effect ends if a creature takes damage or someone uses an action to wake it.
So
We should have
you
tuned
can
them before we
keep
come up against the
using
devil,
that,
shouldn't we?
but you can only use one of them per dawn.
So we can use all of
Um,
them in a day.
So he's basically got 5 abilities he can use in a day.
Oh,
There is a 6th, however.
God.
If he so wishes, he could channel the force and the power of the Platinum Dragon. The player, so the wearer, must make a wisdom saving throw. On a success, Bahamut channels himself through the wielder and will unleash a healing aura.
Oh,
Any friendly within
Kieran
30
needs it.
feet receives 6d10 hit points. And the bracers lose all abilities for 7 days for a week.
Okay.
On a
Kieran's the only one who can make the
failure,
wisdom save, though.
the bracers deal 5d6 radiant damage to the wielder and become inert for 7 days.
Oh, that's last-ditched effort, that is.
There is also a walking speed increased by 10 feet as a result of
Oh,
that.
he's going to speed walk.
Kieran definitely needs them.
Yeah, he's having them.
Okay.
He's got to decide what he needs to get rid of.
To be fair, though, he's the only one who can do the wisdom save, really, isn't he?
Yep.
Or actually, Bofford could. To be fair,
Bofford could.
he's attuned to the long sword of sharpness, which he never used. He could get rid of that.
Oh, yeah.
Rod of Alertness keep. The Shield of the Raven Queen keep. Then Bothrid actually could make a wisdom save. He's pretty good wisdom, isn't he? He's a druid.
Yeah, but the looks of that,
He could
I
indeed,
I
but
don't.
Kirik is now attuned to him.
Sweet.
So if I need to make an executive decision, or if we need to make an executive decision on Kirik's behalf, it'd get rid of the longsword, wouldn't it?
Oh, 100%. He is not even.
I wouldn't
taking
worry
out.
about it for now because I've not finished. These items are a work in progress. I say work in progress. These items need to get finished so I can hand them all out.
The braces of Nuke.
These are called, quite simply, the braces of the Platinum Scales.
I like them. I like them.
I like it in my lap.
So there we go. Make me a perception check for Kirik, please.
Plus 5. He gets advantage on perception then, doesn't he? Yes. So he got a 21.
21. Looks around. No movement, nothing. He's going to look up and think something for a minute. And shake his head. And then he's going to step over to Bothrid and just place a hand on Bothrid's shoulder, shake him awake. All good, Kirik. Kirik will just nod and then point to the stools. Just keep an eye on them. Bothrid holds the axe. Gonna make short work of stools. Kirik will go to sleep. Bothrid will then sit and sort of takes out the whip. And Bothrid's not one of these sort who knows how to internalize communication, so he sort of sits there and quietly speaks out loud. And sort of, Wild Mother, what gift am I given? And he's going to actually use his ability to druidcraft against this whip. But as he sort of uses that energy, it's like the whip just absorbs whatever magical ability he's using. And the thorns begin to grow a little bit, and it's almost like the whip itself becomes alive and grows a little bit, sort of stretches itself out along the floor and writhes forward before folding back and wrapping itself around Bothrid's waist. Bothrid just spends an hour channeling through this and sort of working with the druidic energy And eventually, at some point, he just sits. Nature's threat. Useful, I think. So he begins to understand this, he begins to attune to it as well. And for the sake of brevity, he now has a +3 weapon, so a +3 whip, that has got a reach of 30 feet. So we can... so on a hit, that will deal an additional 2d6 piercing damage, as well as the base damage for it, from the thorny barbs that are all over this whip. As a bonus action, any creature that he hits, he can then grapple with the whip.
Nice.
And pull towards him.
Nice.
There's also a few charges to the whip, which can allow him to cast certain nature-based spells. He's also immune to disease, which I think he was already immune to disease anyway. No, he's very resistant to poison, so he is immune to disease now. And he is also resistant to fire damage. As you notice, or he notices, there are small water droplets that form on the whip and begin to sort of flood over his body, and it's almost like his body is just covered in these tiny, tiny little water droplets. So he's now resistant to fire damage.
Nice.
Go on, Bothrid.
So yes.
That's awesome.
That will be Bothrid. And as his watch comes to an end, he is going to make a quick perception check.
I found out that I could actually have Bothrid and the DM talk to each other.
That's creepy as fuck.
You just need to mirror images. So
I was trying so hard to try and get
or
it.
have it so one's not speaking and then you just flip from one to the other.
Yeah.
Cool. So Bothrid's watch will end. His perception check is pretty shit, to be honest. It's a 4, in fact. So he then sort of sits around and doesn't notice anything, but begins to get the rations out again and starts making something of a meal before he eventually just sort of shakes you all awake. Gentlemen, I think we must be going now. Eat. Quickly.
Aye. Hey, thank you, Bothrid, here. Is everyone feeling better? Ooh, I better press long rest. Yes! Finally press it.
You'll notice Anders just sitting there, almost waiting for people to notice and ask him about his new fancy crown / headband thing.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to let the dice decide as to whether I say anything or not. Alright, we better get going.
Oh, I'm going to see the disappointment in his face. No incident.
Bothrid gets 15. I like it.
Thank you. I was waiting for somebody to notice. I spent all night, my whole watch, figuring out what it does. Long story short, I am now the genius of the group, and you should probably take all advice I give you and do everything that I say.
Oh, that's good. It also made you modest, apparently.
Yes, it did. It did increase my modesty.
Modesty.
I'm not that clever, obviously. I'm not that clever. I couldn't even get the word out. I've got that much raw brain power going through me that it can't get to my mouth fast enough.
I think as this all happens, Kirik's just going to stand there and go, makes sense.
Well, it's a
As
good
you
job
struggle to get the word out.
Good job that you always wear black. No, you don't have to decide what you're going to wear every morning. That could take away from the brain power.
Exactly. Remove minimal decisions and just focus on the big picture, which is fixing the island.
No beer. Beer, no beer. That's the only question you ever need to ask. And of course,
Everyone
the answer
make me
is
perception checks, please.
Oh no. Oh, I've got advantage now.
19.
Bothrid got a 19 as well.
Fucking hell. 21 actually. It's not too bad.
And Kirik?
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm on it. Ooh, 21 as well.
21. All four of you now think, where have the stools
Because you'll be at
gone?
advantage because you got a 1 first.
And you all look up to the ceiling, and all four stools are upside down on the ceiling.
Do we have to do anything about those? I mean, they've not bothered us, but at the same time, they're
I'm
bothering
just
me.
gonna say let's leave.
Let's leave them.
I didn't like them the last time we were here. I like them even less now.
Oh, they've done this before.
Did they?
Yes, the last time he was talking to them, and then as we left, one moved slightly.
Yeah, okay. Bye, fellas. Let's go.
As you eat your rations and sidle out of the room, all four stools turn on the ceiling. And Kirik's just going to
Thanks for
shut the
having
door.
us.
And he's just going to step away like, I'm done.
I hate
Right.
this river, and I hate that hurt more.
I'm more comfortable in the river than in that room. Who knows what the crazy wizard was doing in there.
I'm not comfortable anywhere. Please, can we leave?
Yes. Right. To the 8th, I guess, and we pray.
What? We can't just leave?
I have to find him first.
Oh. Okay.
You ready? He steps
Yeah.
up to the mist wall now.
Following you.
And yet again he speaks that word and the mist parts and this black path, black bridge appears, just like darkness in this twilight. And it's only 5 foot wide. It's got no edges to it. Kirik's just going to say, step very, very carefully.
Okay, you Bothrid.
Oh, it's okay. And so you slowly but surely begin to make your way across this 5th district. What you notice is as you occasionally look down to the water, it's like reality warps around the water itself. Bothrid sort of kicks off a stone, and as the stone hits it's like it elongates and then shrinks down, and then there's a water droplet, but then a splash. But you manage to slowly but surely make it across the bridge. Kirik holds the shield of the Raven Queen out in front of him now. Whatever creatures were on this bridge, they flee in sight of this shield. There are these misshapen shadows that seem to roll back under the bridge as the 4 of you pass across. And this time, rather than a waterfall, you reach what looks like a water climb where the water falls upwards. Kirik yet again speaks a word, a rune appears, and steps into this water climb that lifts him up slowly. You all step on and it's like a water lift, if you like. And it eventually just throws you out into the 6th district. This large, shallow pool. There is no current, but even in the dim twilight you can see lots and lots of creatures. Kirik just turns to you all. Form a circle. If anything charges, strike it down. These creatures begin to sort of circle around the four of you. That was a good catch. They all keep their distance. Kirik's shield having a certain effect on them. Kirik uses that moment to utter the word that he needs, the next spell, and again those magical sort of metallic flames almost peer at his mouth as he speaks this word. A circle of water about 10 feet wide dries up and begins to sink down through the river about 300 feet. And you walk down this now sort of almost like a tunnel. What you notice is as the four of you pass through, that shrinks up and eventually you step forth into the 7th district. And it is very much like the 6th district, except now there are pockets of fire here and there, and the horizon itself is a line of fire. And Kirik yet again just says, run. Just ignore them, they seem to be leaving us alone, just run. And he steps forward, speaks the word as an arch of fire appears now in this horizon line, dives through it, and enters the 8th district, where these patches of oily fire are burning all over the place, just float across the surface, seem to move independently of themselves. Occasionally one just flares out of nowhere. Kirik seems to sort of instinctively step out of the way of one, but I need dexterity saving throws from the other 3 folks, please.
17.
14.
14. So Bothrid, Dargon and Kirik, you'll manage to sort of step out of the way as this flare just shoots up. As it does,
I have to use evasion here.
you are going to take 13 points of fire damage. And
Can I use evasion, please?
yep, so you will take 7 points of fire damage.
It's no damage, isn't it, with evasion?
It's no damage, yes.
No.
Yes, sorry.
No damage with evasion.
Uncanny dodge, I was thinking of.
No, it's no... You failed, so you get... You wait, what?
Oh, yeah. Did you make a dex saving throw to take only half damage? You instead take no damage if you succeed on the saving throw, and only half if you fail.
So it's half.
I failed, didn't I?
Yeah, that's what I say, half.
7.
So, yeah, 7 points of damage. Kirik now at this point just begins to look around, and I need Kirik to say a small prayer to the Raven Queen to help find this creature, or this figure. So I am going to need a I'm going to say a wisdom-based religion check, please. So if he's proficient in religion, add a proficiency bonus on top. If he's not, it's just straight wisdom modifier.
So it's going to be like
Plus 10.
insight. Yeah.
It's plus 10, yeah.
20.
There is a ghostly light that appears in the distance somewhere and just shines down. She's helping us. Let's go. The 4 of you sort of sprint forward again, diving and ducking around these flares and these pools of fire. And occasionally you see a dead creature run toward you, only to get caught in these flares and cascaded through the 8th gate. And eventually you find a figure, but the arms have elongated, so they're long and thin and bend at awkward angles. The back of this creature arches, the head is on its side, and this mouth is now just a line almost all the way around the head that hangs open. But even as you approach it, you can see the remnants of the elven armour. Kirik's just going to look I think that's him or them. Doggone. Keep the blade up.
Yeah. What do we have to do? Do we have to... What?
Hopefully, just exit.
Okay.
Kirik is going
Following
to
your
dart
lead.
forward, grab this dead creature, and then closes his eyes, and there is a burst of energy as raven wings spread out, envelop the four of you. And you feel warmth. But it is also dark. As your vision returns to you, you can see that Kirik is holding now the decomposed body of an elf in elven armour. The elven armour, very, very familiar. And he's just going to sort of drop the creature, or drop the figure. As you notice the figure's eyes sort of flash open. It's going to try and climb to its feet, but with the body being decomposed, the bones are going to sort of shatter. Doggone. Do it.
Yeah, stab it.
Okay, roll to hit, please.
Sweet. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The blade strikes through flesh, the metal of this armour, and there is just a burn. And the creature goes still. I don't think we'll be using this particular body again.
What happened? Did it try to follow us?
Well, it came with us, shall we say. But it's been hanging around the 8th for a while, so it's got some strength to it.
I will pretend that I know nothing of what you just said. Right. Are we safe here? I want to quickly
Make
go and look
perception checks.
Yeah, I want to go and look at the door, see if I can see. Is it still like intact?
So I will say, without a perception check, that the door itself is splinters. There was a proper door that had been built that you saw, but it is splinters. And as you look outside in the dark, pale moonlight, with the roll you've just made, you can see that Seameat is still. Seameat is empty, but there is smoke rising from the edge of Seameat. Where are we going?
Place is empty, lads. Do we go up the tower, or do we just go out? I can't see anyone.
So the fire is on the horizon, or is it on the edge of town?
Looks like it's on the edge of town. It's not fire that you see, it's smoke.
Is that near the gate of the entrance towards where we came initially in, or where the Tabaxi camp was?
Near towards where the gate is, because you are next to the Tabaxi camp,
Yeah.
or where the Tabaxi camp was in the lighthouse.
Okay.
So under the cover of night, it might be the best time to leave, right? If it's still, there's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
The smoke. So when you say it's still outside, is there enough moonlight to see it's still because it's desolate, or still because everyone's asleep?
As you step outside now, and doors are left wide open. There's no lights anywhere. There's no candles burning. This town is empty.
It's just deserted, okay.
Does it look like we can get out via the way that out the way towards the Tabaxi camp. So away from where the smoke is.
There is only one entrance and exit to Seameat, if you remember rightly. There were walls that were thrown up. The only other way to get out would be via the sea.
Looks like we're going towards the gate, guys.
I mean, it's the way we need to go anyway. We can't sail, obviously. I couldn't work a boat between us. Well, I know Bothra did a lot of jobs on Captain Swift's boat, but I didn't. I'll be honest, I didn't help out very much. I couldn't work a boat, so I think we have to go by foot.
Bothrid sort of interrupts you. No boats anyway.
Let's head
That's
that
a
way.
good point. If everyone's deserted, yeah, they're left with the ships. But it must have been bad if they're going to take their chances on that sea. We all know what that's like, that crossing. But if there's any smoke, does that mean whatever was there is dying down?
If I remember
So we may have.
the map well enough, we've got the tavern between us and the gate, so we come and get to the edge of the tavern and look to see whether we can see the gate.
I will say, as the four of you now sort of traverse, as you look out to sea in the moonlight, you can see a number of shipwrecks now. Probably 2 or 3, and there were a couple before. It looks like there's at least one now, fresh one. This is like a ghost town. It's totally deserted. You can see that the market stalls and tents where your favourite NPC once shouted, "Fresh fish!" The market stalls are all ripped, upended. You approach the well in the centre of town. The bucket almost looks like it's been cut away. The rope itself now, just a hanging piece of tattered rope. And you now approach the Cherry Blossom Inn, the tavern at the edge of Seameat, if you like, where there was once a very beautiful cherry blossom tree. But now the branches are bare. The bark looks as if it's been burned. And as you then sort of make your way to the inn and look to the right, you now see where the smoke comes from. And a small hut that once belonged to 2 dwarves, 2 brothers, lies a smouldering ruin. On the edge, outside, a single skeleton, devoid of flesh and clothing. Just bone, and charred bone at that.
Looks like we were here too late.
We knew this was going to be this. This is a means to an end. As horrible as it is. We've got to get out.
I agree. Let's go. We've got to walk.
I'll lead the way.
Okay. You follow then the river as you exit Seameat and begin to wander through the night. And I think with that we will end there for tonight and leave the adventures on the lock for another time. So thank you all for joining us along this magical mystery tour of death. What a fun one that was. So yes, I do enjoy that very, very real realm now that exists within this universe. So thank you, Kirik, for making that possible, because that was awesome. Without that character, I'd never come up with that idea. That was brilliant. Thank you all for watching. I know it's been a somewhat slower episode tonight, but it kind of needed to be after the frantic shite that we've been through the last few weeks. So, as the Wardens of the Vale approach Loch Esamir and attempt to do something there, we will see what happens. But thank you again all for joining us. Thank you to those of you who are listening on the podcast right now. Please leave a rating if you can, or a review against the podcast, and help us spread the word. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the follow button, the like and subscribe, all those sorts of things. Just support us in any way you can. As I say, the more support we get, the more things we can do and provide, like giveaways and stuff. We will agree at some point on our next competition and those sorts of things. And yes, I think that is probably all I need to say. Hopefully Samal will be back next week, but we will keep you all posted on that. So check out the socials, make sure you pay attention to the socials. Make sure you go and sign up for Battle Bards if you've not already done so. Use the code MaltMagic, get yourselves a discount. But other than that, thank you to the tools we've used, thank you to everyone else. We've been the Malt Magic crew. This has been episode 91 of the Forgotten Kingdom of Nylin. Wishing you all a very happy week. We will see you same time next week. Have a good night.